Let's get it. Boom. All right. Yeah, I know y'all gonna see that. Oh well. This is a early live stream. Good morning, people. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I know some of y'all may be up. Some of y'all still may be asleep. Some of y'all may be at work. But good morning, y'all. Grand Rising. How y'all doing? So tonight, well, not tonight. This morning, before the round table, what I'm going to do, we're going to be going over a particular debate, uh, consciously versus the Atlantean. Earth speaks. That's what we're going to be doing. All right. I'm gonna fix this camera a little more. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We got a lot of people out here that's, what I'm saying, teaching, doing the right thing, teaching that we're the true indigenous people of this land. And we got people doing it properly and we got people doing it in a negative way that they can't even really prove who we are as a people. But instead they go from an extremely ancient perspective, like for example calling yourself an Atlantean, calling yourself an Anunnaki god, or calling yourself any of the above. We got, oh shit, I'm muted. Damn, I'm muted like a motherfucker. I didn't even know. Damn. But anyways, good morning, people. Good morning. Good morning. Damn, I've been muted this whole entire time. But anyways, good morning, people. Good morning. Good morning. I know a lot of people may be asleep right now. Some people may be just getting up, just getting ready for work or whatever. It is what it is. But today, I'm going to go over consciously versus the Atlantean. Consciously versus the Earth speaks. That's what I'm going over. We got a lot of people trying to prove that we are the indigenous people of America. We got some people doing it properly, and we got some people just doing it off a skimmish behavior for a certain agenda. They really can't properly prove that we are the indigenous people of America, but instead they go this crazy route saying that we are Atlanteans, we are Egyptians, we are Hebrews, we're Anunnaki gods, we're non-ether beings. Then they go on this whole preacher, Pastor Pork Chop, know what I'm saying, campaign. They do that all the time, right? Then they put up a source of a they put a picture up of a piece of corn and say, oh, we had the vegetation system. We had all this stuff way before Pangea and everything like that. That proves that we are the indigenous people of the land. Like, come on. We know who be doing these things. We know who be saying these crazy ass statements to justify us being indigenous to America. The only thing I gotta say today is that is not the right way to do it. If somebody say prove that black people were here in America pre-Columbian time, you don't go off start talking about some fucking corn. You don't turn around and say you're an Atlantean being. You don't turn around and call yourself a fucking Hebrew. You don't do that. They said prove that your people were here. Don't talk about no trading. Anybody could have did trading. A Native American could literally come up here and say, I'm Atlantean. Oh, I was the one that traded with Africa. I'm the one that gave corn to Asia. They could easily do it. They asking your presence here in America. There's the right way to do it and there's the wrong way to do it. And today we're doing a debate recap between Consciously and the Earth Speaks. That's what we doing. So we're gonna learn what a false teacher really is. Okay, we're gonna learn what a false teacher really is. We're gonna put this up here real quick. Let me get this image. Put this image up. What's up, y'all? Everybody's coming in. I know it's early. know what I'm saying? You could just play me while you going to work or some shit. You in a truck or whatever. Do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But what we gonna do? I'm gonna show you the right way and the wrong way to pursue these things, to prove these things. So let me go ahead and put my picture up here. And that's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call this "Be Wary of False Teachers." Be wary of false teachers. You see it? Be wary of false teachers. Okay. Let me know if y'all can hear me though. If my shit low, just let me know, and I'll get everything ready. I'll fix it all. But be wary of false teachers. Do not be led astray. Debate recount. Are black people? This guy he gonna come in every time. No, we're not dealing with you right now. Be wary of false teachers. Do not be led astray. Debate recap. Are black people indigenous to the Americas? What is the proper way to prove this? What is the proper way to prove this? Hey, you're a Siberian black person. Shut up. You're a corporate Indian. Be quiet. You have a card. You had a white man tell you who you was and who you wasn't. So please be quiet. Okay? And that's why by 2050, there's not going to be no Native Americans because your bloodline is diluted. Okay? But watch this. Oh, yeah, exactly. You're tax paying, you're tax prepped Indians. But before we go ahead and tap into this, before we tap into this, let me read this real quick. From the manifesto, we gotta check this out before I tap into this debate recap. That's the debate we looking at. We're looking at consciously versus the Earth speaks, but there's something we gotta declare real quick. I hereby, this is from the Affidavit of Indigenous Identity, Lineage, Informal Repudiation of Fraudulent Classifications. I hereby formally and irrevocably repudiate, reject, and declare null and void all fraudulent, inaccurate, pejorative, pejorative, racial, and ethnic classifications that have been imposed upon me and my ancestors by the government or administrative body. Specifically, I repudiate the exonyms Negro, Colored, Black, and African American, and any other smaller or similar terms that operate to sever my connection to my ancestral heritage on the American continents, which falsely assign to me a foreign and a non-indigenous origin. I affirm my past and current classifications under the fraudulent terms on my public on any public or private document, including but not limited to birth certificates, census records, medical records, and legal forms, was a product of systematic state-sponsored campaign of cultural erasure and was made without my free prior informed consent. And this is my declaration. I hereby formally declare, proclaim, and affirm that my, that my one true correct identity and status is that of the primordial indigenous American. I make this declaration based on overwhelming body of historical, scientific, and geological evidence and upon my family's oral history and sacred memory, which establish my direct lineal descent from the Aboriginal pre-Columbian peoples of the Americas. To be primordial American is to be the first blood of the soil. Look at part two. Primordial. This term signifies existing at and from the beginning of the uh, pr- primal of the primal. It asserts our status as the foundational first in time human population of the American continents. It legal it legally distinguishes our people from all subsequent migratory groups such as the Native Americans, such as the, you know, this half Negro, half Siberian that's in the comments. And it says, who crossed the Bering Strait, and the Europeans people who crossed the Atlantic. It grounds our claim to Aboriginal title and rights in the principle of first in time, first in right, the most fundamental concept and property law. Indigenous, this term signifies operating or occurring naturally in a particular place. Native, it asserts a status under international law as an indigenous people. It says, with all the attendant rights and protections thereof, including the right of self determination, the right to our ancestral lands, the right to yeah, preservation of our culture, the right to free from forced assimilation and genocide. It formally, legally, and legally serves the fraudulent nexus to Africa and correct and reestablish a geopolitical and legal origin on the soil. And finally, American. The term signifies a continental heritage. It is not claimed to citizenship in the United States alone, but a claim to Aboriginal status that predates and transcends all modern colonial nation states in the Western Hemisphere. It asserts that we are not a hyphenated citizen, but the people of the Americas in the deepest and most profound sense. This designation is therefore a declaration of status. It is a political and legal statement that we are distinct people with a distinct history and a distinct set of rights. It is permanent and non-negotiable. Do you hear that? It is permanent and non-negotiable. Rejection of the state's claimed power to define us for our own administrative and political convenience. Before I tap into that, so for the people that want to keep talking about uh, what is your identity? What is your tribe? What is your heritage? Is primordial indigenous American. I don't know how many times I got to keep saying it. I'm not uh, part of the United States corporate entity dealing with tribes. I don't do that because that goes back to reclassification. That goes back to the white man have a power over you and telling you who is an Indian and who is not, who belong here and who doesn't. So if you look at what's going on today, Native Americans are not even part of the United States no longer. They lost their birthrights. They lost their birthright. So now the white man said not even the Native Americans have blood ties to North America. Let me say that one more time. Even the white man is saying now that not even the Native Americans have the birthright and the blood right to North America. They're deporting you. But the only one that cannot be deported is what you call the Black American. The only one that cannot be deported, and that's all across law, even international law. You cannot deport the Black American. You you can't. And we know white people are not going to deport themselves. We know they not, but they supposed to be deported too, because a lot of them came through Ellis Island. A lot of them came through Angel Island. A lot of people immigrated here in the 1930s through the 1950s. A lot of these white people today are literally immigrants from the 1930s to the 1950s. But of course not. They're not gonna deport themselves. Don't Trump bloodline go back to Germany and Russia and some shit? Right? They're not gonna deport themselves. Don't Barack Obama bloodline go back to Kenya? They're not gonna deport themselves. But they're gonna deport anybody else that's not an elite. Right? but they cannot deport the black American. We got a lot of infiltrators in our community. We got a lot of infiltrators. We got too many infiltrators in our community claiming to be us, and they are not. And after that post with Jesse Jackson, it went trendy. We got 40,000 views. We got 40,000 views on that video. If you go to the comments on that video, my apologies, 34,000 views. If you go to the comments in that video, you can see how many of our people are actually woken to this. All these people, and I'm not talking about people just in our little micro community on TikTok. I'm talking about people outside of that community. Understand their indigeneity. They understand what Jesse Jackson did. People outside of this community, they understand. You don't know how far these people are. You don't know how woke these people really are. There's a lot of people out here not claiming African. TikTok did a wonderful job of exposing this African identity shit. I mean, Facebook, somewhat. YouTube, somewhat. But TikTok, that's where everybody really realized how Africans felt, how white people felt, how Mexicans felt. It literally exposed everybody's hand. So all this coonery, that went out the window. I seen a bunch of coons turn literally uncoon. They're not even coons no more. They're like, damn, this how they really feel about me. What up, Haley? How you doing? What's up, Mara? I see you. Know what I'm saying? I see y'all might be at work. Just know what I'm saying, tuning in. We finna tap in. We finna tap into this. Know what I'm saying? I don't care if I only have 8 people in this motherfucker. I want people to see what I'm finna show. What I'm gonna be showing is be wary of false teachers. Do not be led astray. Debate recap. Earth speaks. He's the white man on the. This is Earth speaks. He's the white man on the left side versus consciously. That's what we're gonna be recapping today. Earth speaks. The Atlantean, which is the white man, which is the white man, which is the motherfucking white man. I keep telling y'all. Earth speaks the white man, not Earth speaks the nigga. Earth speaks the white man versus
white people
versus consciously. And if Earth Speaks is your boy, I'm sorry, brother. You're being led astray. I seen a debate clip. Somebody sent me a debate clip. I was, hold on. Amaru sent the debate clip in a telegram, and I'm like, damn, I gotta see this. I gotta recap this shit. I gotta recap this whole thing because this will be this would be really excellent to show the people what to do, what not to do, who to listen to, who not to listen to. Sometimes people are just here for our entertainment, and I understand that. But if you take your identity serious, you take your history serious, I would be worried. I'd be very wary of that. Okay? So if Earth Speaks your boy, this might not be the live for you, because you're going to be down in the comments fighting. Did Ryan real hard, bro. Because you would not be able to take the shit that I'm for the show. I'm telling you. So the topic of the debate is, are black people indigenous to the Americas? What is the proper way to prove this? So in the debate between Consciously and Earth Speaks, they supposed to be proving, well, Earth Speaks supposed to be proving that black people is indigenous to America. Did he successfully prove that? Did he prove it? I want y'all to think about that. Did he prove it? He went from the corn to the pepper to the potato to the fucking yam. And Consciously just like, okay, nigga, how to prove that? How is black people indigenous to America with fucking corn, with fucking yams, with fucking peppers, with fucking potatoes? How the fuck is black people indigenous? It's because we traded with Asia. We pushed all these fruits and vegetables to these other countries they didn't have here. They didn't have none of this shit before prior colonization. They didn't have it. Okay, nigga, the Native Americans could have did that shit. The nigga tried to prove we was indigenous through fucking fruits and vegetables. Hell, poor C can get up here and say, hey, rice came to America because Africans put rice in their goddamn hair. They can come up with any goddamn narrative. This is a stupid ass narrative. Stupid ass narrative. That's why I said be wary of fucking false teachers. Okay. Hey, Freddie, you're gonna have your time with me. Like anybody that wanna debate me, they wanna have a discussion with me. The only thing I'm gonna say is I like to play with my food. I'm gonna talk shit. I'm gonna play with you. Then eventually I'm gonna get bored. Then go ahead and get your ass up out of here with a source. I can't be consciously. Dang, I can't. You mean dang? I think you meant it. I can be consciously. I think you meant that. I think you meant that. Yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, hell yeah. I already debated consciously whether y'all know it or not. We got like 3 videos back and forth. That last video, boy, he could not reply back. He could not fucking reply back. It's way down in the timeline of natural. Me and consciously went back and forth. And what's that other guy? What's his name? Gen T. The damn, I don't want to call him that because I might get fucking reported. But what's his name? Gen T, Gen Z. I forgot his fucking name. The other guy with the dreads. He was making videos against me too. Boy, I was smoking their ass. Hell no. I said I'm not the one to have discussions with. And if I see you got big ass following, oh, I ain't gonna play with you. We're gonna get straight to the point. Ain't no discussion. But what you about to see, you finna see motherfuckers getting played with. You finna see motherfuckers getting played with. You about to see motherfuckers getting played with. Right? Right. Hey, we already smoked an African yesterday. We already smoked the African yesterday. I mean, if you want to get played with today, the choice is yours. If you want to get a beers today, the choice is yours, brother. The choice is yours. So just stick around. Stick around for the whole entire thing. Because the reason I'm not putting nobody up because it's gonna fuck up the way the live is being presented. Because I got this on a wide view. And it's gonna fuck the whole thing up. So just wait till I finish. Stay here, you know what I'm saying? Then I put you up on the panel, Freddie. And you could say where the fuck you want, Freddie. But when I make your ass look stupid by the end of the presentation, Freddie, I don't want to hear shit else. All right? Let's go ahead and tap in. Let's go.
You crack smoke. We should stay away from crack smoke. Hey, it's 400 people on this live. Let's say all 400 people want to live by the teachings of Earth. And we believe that we are indigenous people of the Americas. Who do we go to for the land patents to get the land rights to the land sovereignty of the land that was bought in the Louisiana Purchase? He has never responded to the answer. I also asked him, okay, Earth, you say you black indigenous. They say they black Moor. They say they Hebrew. How does this make you immune to policing? He's never responded to that question. My motto is education is elevation, and I really do this education. I'm not just some fast talking guy off the internet. I'm not just somebody that want to debate off the internet. I really be in the classroom. I really write. I really do research. You see what I'm saying?
Everything he just say, he a fucking lie, bro. He don't do no damn research. He be out here just running his fucking
Betty,
mouth,
you
just
smart.
like Earth speaks.
You very smart.
We see you consciously. That's why you fell off, bro.
And we ain't gotta bring up no degrees. Then we gonna just show you straight off the dome. And I'm just mad that I'm still talking to myself because folk ain't showed up yet. Listen, man, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Invite sent. I just seen the. Come on now. This ain't what I want. This ain't what I'm about to get off live in this coming years. You can have a big screen. You can have a big screen. I'll be the little screen. We can get this done.
Nah, because it's not even rocket science. Really, I can spit this joint from the top with no receipts or nothing. I don't really need none of that. I can spit the whole joint. Like, I don't need none of that.
Spit away.
Yeah, so you keep on saying that our origins started in Africa. So there's a couple things, there's a bunch of discrepancies because first of all, you taking that from the non-melanated Europeans. That's where you getting that from. Now, if you want to start your now, before we even get started, let's go ahead and figure out what the time frame going to be, like you said, because I don't want to be interrupted, and I certainly don't want to interrupt you. But I'm gonna make my points clear.
3 minutes.
So let's do 5 minutes. Let's do 5 minutes. Let's do 5 rounds of 5 minutes.
Let's do 3 rounds of 5 minminutes. I don't need 5 rounds. Let's do 3.
3 rounds of 5 minutes. That's pretty easy. That's pretty easy. First things first. First things first. When we're gonna talk about the story of our origin of melanated people, you gotta go back to what people.
Pay attention to what. Hello. He said if we're gonna talk about the origin of black people, the origin of us, we gotta go back. Pay attention. Remember, I said be wary of false teachers, bro.
Eat. You can't just go with my back. When we're gonna talk about the story of our origin of melanated people, you gotta go back to what people eat.
What the fuck he just say? If we want to go back to people origins, we got to go back to what they eat. So that's how we prove who was here in America, because of what the fuck they was eating. Yams, beans, potatoes. Yeah, I'm black indigenous because I eat green peppers. Little pork chop on the side because I'm indigenous.
Can't just go with migrations, because somebody could be in West Africa and then come to North Africa. So the migrations matter. You don't know. So let's just deal with that. Let's just deal with, first off, how can Africa be the mother of civilization when she don't have no food? If you're a mother, you need food and you need water, and that food needs to be the medicine also. Now, out of 640 crops grown in Africa today, 600 of them are native to here. Now, before the 1500s, they never seen a tomato before 1492, my man. So I don't know where that whole thing comes from, but in fact, before the 1500s, they were catching bubonic plague, yellow fever. Bubonic plague killed 200 million people. Yellow fever, malaria, which killed half the people born to the planet. Now, their populations are dwindling. When they came here and they got our plants, then their populations, then that's when you see the population boom, symbolizing our populations here were already larger than anywhere else, my mans.
So, what the fuck that got to do with black people being indigenous to America? This is what I mean. Stop listening to worried teachers, especially people that got white man blood in them.
White people.
Boy, you literally got the blood and the devil in you trying to tell us who the hell we are. Literally. And he just went on a whole 5-minute rant about fucking potatoes, yams, greens, corn. Trying to talk about black people identity, bro. I'm just saying.
So when you talk about that, that right there is showing you the origins of the plant life. That's what people eat, right? You started getting the milk from the mama again. You started getting milk from mommy. That's what happened. And then your population started going up again. Now, when you're talking about these lands, how could we be from Africa? And we all agree that life starts from melanated people, correct? We do agree that life started from melanated people, right? Consciously?
Right.
Okay, so now the rainforest, the Amazon rainforest is hyper dominant. We planted that. We planted that. So that predates the hominids, my man. That predates the hominids. We created something called terra preta out of terra firma. See, this right here, you're not ready, my man. Look. Now, when you want to get to the Maya, which is our people, right? The Maya, that wasn't their name. Their name was not Maya. Their name was the Navas. Davas. They were also known as the Naga. And what they tell us off of the wall is these lands are called Mayak. Mayak means the first lands that rose from the bosom of the deep. So there was no other lands. And I'm talking about these lands at a time where the sun didn't even rise above the horizon yet, my man. So I'm going to yield to you right now, and you go ahead and give your rebuttal.
Hey, okay. I'm going to start at 10:17. Really just starting off at the top.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Before I move forward, commenters, I need you to engage. How do you feel about everything what Earth Speaks just said? It don't have to be long. I just need to see. How do you feel about everything what he just said? Conscious Lead wants him to prove that black people is indigenous to America. This man went on a whole sermon talking about fruits, vegetables, and how America was the first to come out the waters. Again, Conscious Lead wants him to prove black people are indigenous to America. I will say it again. Earth Speaks started talking about peppers, corn, yams, and how America was the first to come out the waters. Do you see the fucking inconsistencies here? This is the teacher you praise and love.
Baby,
but
you
when we
smart.
look past all
You
the
very
bullshit
smart.
and all the entertainment and just be critical about this, brother, we failing. I mean, he's not my teacher. He's not my teacher. I've been to declare who my teacher was on this platform. But I'm saying, if this is what you will abide by, then that's you. Now, if you want to go the route to prove that America was the first to come out the waters, then that's a different topic. If you want to talk about life out of America, that's a different topic. But the topic is proving that black people are indigenous to America. Are you trying to say since America was the first to come out of the water and black people was the first to inhabit the earth, are you trying to say that's how black people is indigenous to America? Okay, if that's the claim, then we need to see the sources. Right? Now, I'm not against it, but I'm logical when it comes down to this, even if I'm on the same side. But if I want somebody to prove it in a more sophisticated way, in a logical way, I'm gonna need to see those sources. I don't need to see the fucking sound. I don't need no sermon. I don't need no sermon. I don't need no pastor pork chop ass sermon. I don't need that. Because how I'm gonna take this and present this information to somebody else, and if they hit me with the number one thing, bring out the sources. Let me read this claim. Let me see the expertise behind this. And all I got is my fucking mouth and I'm just running it. This is what I'm talking about. You're either in this for entertainment, or you actually being serious about your lineage and who you are as a people. This stuff cannot be played with. I can understand wanting to laugh and have fun, but at some point, this shit gonna get critical. I just showed you today before the views got up to 48. I showed you there's people outside of this micro community on TikTok are woken to this matter. And we're still fighting over the minds of these people. We're still trying to win the minds of these people. Because when we make our videos, whether you know or not, our videos go to those crowds of people. I got 36,000 views on the latest video I did. You think that's that little community that we in right now? No. My stuff is getting pushed to the other communities. That's how we reach your minds. You gotta make these videos and push it out. But if they see stuff like this, then you see them in action on a live stream. This shit is pathetic. It make us look like fools, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. So that's all I got to say on that. Let's go ahead and keep it pushing.
I think you fundamentally just don't understand what we're debating about. I can still whoop.
Mayak. Mayak means the first lands that rose from the bosom of the deep. So there was no other lands. And I'm talking about these lands at a time where the sun didn't even rise above the horizon yet, my man. So I'm going to yield to you right now, and you go ahead and give your rebuttal.
Hey, okay. I'm going to start at 10:17. Really just starting off at the top. I think you fundamentally just don't understand what we're debating about. I can still whoop your ass in this debate about how black people in America are origins of African descent without having to get into you talking about the terraphites and talking about, you know what I'm saying, plant origins. What we can acknowledge is that when we start to think about the way in which African people or people of melanated, you know what I'm saying, came into the Americas, we acknowledge we were about 3/5 of human. We also acknowledge that there are literal boats that came in from ports of New York, ports of Virginia, also ports, you know what I'm saying, of New Orleans. We can go to the end of this debate and just acknowledge this right here. Whether you acknowledge yourself to be Aboriginal, whether you acknowledge yourself to be Hebrew, whether you acknowledge yourself to be African, how does this make you immune from the system of white supremacy? Can you tell me that what have you identifying as the ethnicity and of indigenous? What has it done for the political, social, or economic livelihood in the way that you have to, you know what I'm saying, conduct yourself? Second thing, you have committed the textbook indigenous erasure, where you are literally conducting yourself like a colonizer on this TikTok space where you are trying to claim the identity of the indigenous people. What have you internalized about Africa or Africans that make you want to distance yourself from them? Who taught you to hate Africa and Africans so much that the whole entire world understands who you come from and where you come from, but you want to tell them what's YouTube's conspiracy theory about tomatoes, that you're not of African descent? But people game though, this is what you have to answer. Okay, let's say it. Earth speaks. Okay, shit, you're native. Now what? Now what? Now what? Does this mean that you're immune from police brutality? No. Does this mean you're more likely to get along? No. Does this mean you own land? No. So what does it mean? Does this mean now the treaties that the white folks broke against natives? It don't mean that. So to me, it just seems as if you just came across a nice sensational YouTube video and now you're getting dopamine release off of shit claiming to have a genealogy about indigeneity.
Do you yield your time?
Now, consciously said a bunch of bullshit. For one, everybody get brutalized by the police right now. That's not justifying indigenous identity. Saying you need immunity, really, immunity comes from status. Whether you like it or not, it's the honest truth in America. Immunity comes from status. And we can see it from the Jeffrey Epstein files and all this shit. Even black people amongst the elites, we can see how they're getting immunity from the laws we supposed to follow. In remedy. So all this bullshit talking about how does this help you against police brutality and all this bullshit, that's nothing but mumbo jumbo talking. That's bullshit. We ain't worrying about that. Everybody get brutalized by the police now. So that's stupid ass shit. That's stupid ass talking. But going back to what he said in the beginning, he is right. It's like he lost the narrative. He lost the plot. You supposed to be proving how black people is indigenous to America, right? Then I guess he want a roadmap of what you supposed to do after you got this identity, right? That's what he wants. Okay, that's a personal thing. They don't got nothing to do with the people. That just got something to do with you personally. But other than that, Earthspeak did lose the plot. I don't believe he's even listening to consciously. He over there doing his fucking emotes, his fucking Fortnite emotes and shit, his Roblox emotes and shit. He's not listening. We can clearly see that. So we know he's about to go back to talking about fucking peppers, potatoes, and yams. We know he's about to go back to doing that shit because he doesn't listen. And that's why people make fun of him outside of the TikTok platform. When we actually see him go against somebody sophisticated, because consciously he's not sophisticated. He just got a way of words. He know how to pull the crowd in. He know how to twist shit around. But dealing with somebody like Earth Speaks, they can't catch this shit, man. It makes this side look bad because he tried to represent us, but now he turned the Indian name into Atlantean. So now it's a bunch of fucking conspiracy ass shit. It's a bunch of dumb ass shit. I'm really convinced that this man might be a Jew. The way how this motherfucker be acting at this point, because it's giving psyop behavior. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Friend, I don't want to interrupt you. Okay, so look, so as far as about where we go from here. Now, if you didn't notice, are people getting back to the land patents? And if you didn't notice this, the melanated tribes are the only ones that have land patents, and nothing else trumps the land patent. Now, if you look in California right now, those people went to the judges and the mayor in the police station and kicked them out of the town, and now they are their own entity right now. Now, when the people try to do that in Georgia, right? Guess what happened? They looked at them when them so-called rubber natives tried to do that, Hollywood natives tried to do that in Georgia. They looked at them like they was crazy. Started talking about you Muskogee, and then Chief Warhorse came up there and said you can't even be Muskogee because Muskogee is only a language. So look, my mans, they ain't the one. Now since we know that these lands are the first lands that rose from the bosom of the deep, that means melanated were walking these these lands before any other land came out of the water. There was no other land. There was no Pangea, like everybody want to act like they're.
So that's the perspective he's going by. Yeah, so that's the perspective. So he's saying since America was the first to come out the waters, black people were the first people on earth, so therefore black people had to be in America. So now where is the work? And please don't get motherfucking don't turn into no conspiracy with this shit. Don't turn this shit into no X-File ass shit, bro. Just put out the work, because I didn't get this far into the video. So hopefully he put out some sources, and hopefully he don't go fucking Anunnaki God, non-ether being, fucking Atlantean on us. Hopefully he don't do that. We don't need that shit. All right, let's go ahead and get back to it.
There was a Pangea. That's another little small white lie they told you. But if it was a Pangea, they would have the same fruits and vegetables as we do. But they never seen a pumpkin, corn, squash, peppers, none of that before 1492. None of it. Peanuts, papaya, none of it. They didn't have nothing over there. That's in Asia, Europe, and Africa. In fact, not only did they not have the food, they don't got the water. Africa only has 9% of the Earth's surface drinking water. That is second to the lowest. Second to Oceania. Now, how if you don't have food, you don't have water, how are you going to be the mother?
I'm sorry for stopping, bro. I'm sorry for stopping this shit. But he's literally repeating the same shit. He's repeating the same dumbass shit. I just say he's finna go back to talking about peppers and pickles and fucking watermelon and pumpkins and shit. Consciously already heard this shit. That's why he gave himself a face palm. Cause he just literally repeat this shit. Bro, I'm telling you, bro.
Mother. In fact,
I already debated consciously. It's on my panel. It's on my shit.
It is not the mother. It is the father of the earth, because it is the minerals. In fact, the Sudanese dust storms is what gives the ocean its minerals and the rest of the world its minerals, all the forest around the world. So you can go check that out too. There's different organs to this planet, and that's what these different continents are. Now, not only that, we are the only continents that exist in both sides of the hemisphere, which means we exist on the north and the south side. So when North America froze, we walked our asses down to South America, and we've been doing that. In fact, we created the pyramids here. We are the Tuttle Sheep people, who they called us the Olmec people. I'm gonna yield my time.
Man, everybody get this man a clap real fast.
I'm a
Debate definitely.
I'm a
This is my time now. This is my time now. This is right here. We call this edutainment. I'm whooping your ass so bad on the intellectual level. This debate entertaining for the people watching it because you just bored them to death. What he just did, in debate, we call that not having an internal link. What he just gave you was a whole bunch of non-topical whataboutisms that does not prove his point. Can y'all show me in the last?
No, I'm not gonna sit up here and say consciously lost because Earthspeak claiming to be an Indian now. Actually, both these niggas lost. I'm not gonna lie to you. Both of them lost. Remnant, I'm not fit to sit up that side with Earthspeaks and say Earthspeaks won. Hell no. Because no sources wasn't presented. Both of them, all they're doing is throwing claims at each other. We know how real debates go. So I'm not finna do that. I don't do that. It's a double L. Yeah, facts, bro. It's a double L, bro. Double L. Like for real. Double XL. Like we not finna pretend and jump on the side just because Earthspeaks is claiming to be an idiot. And y'all gotta stop doing that shit. Just cause you team Indian, you see a motherfucker making us look bad, don't say I'ma still be on this side cause that nigga team Indian. Fuck no. Nigga, I always because guess who comes back around and throw that shit in our face? The Pan-Africans. They clip the shit. They get y'all comments. They see y'all cheering. And while the niggas saying dumbass shit, then they make fun of us and make a whole bunch of fucking clips, make a whole bunch of lives and shit. And then now y'all got to defend yourselves for fucking promoting the dumb shit. No, hell no. Just like if I say some dumbass shit, I'm expecting somebody to correct me on it, right? And we gotta be the same. We can't be team Indian just because the motherfucker Indian. I'm just saying. And I'm not getting on your ass, Remnant. I'm just saying they both stupid as hell. I'm not gonna lie. They stupid as hell. But the only reason I'm doing this live is to show y'all how false teachers operate. And like I said, this man is a white man.
White people.
Last speech, where did he give you evidence that people of African, the so-called African people of African descent in America, where are we able to prove that we're indigenous? Correct audience, people watching this debate, people watching this man get his ass added to my debate highlights. Where did he quantify one claim? Did he tell you about fruits? Did he tell you about Sudan? Did he tell you about land patents? Hey, y'all, to the people in the back of the classroom, when I was a student at the University of Oklahoma, I had the opportunity to be around a lot of beautiful indigenous peoples. I learned about what happened to the Osage Nation. The Osage Nation in the 1920s was one of the richest counties in America per capita because all the white people that
Osage Nation is in Arkansas. That was a black territory, whether y'all know it or not. So, yeah, that's if you look at the Osage, it's in Arkansas. It's in the Ozarks. That was black territory at that time period. That was when Black Wall Street. That's the tail end of Black Wall Street, I believe. But consciously is stupid as hell. He don't know shit about Arkansas. He don't know nothing about Arkansas. He said the Osage. Osage is in Arkansas.
March the Indians down for the, you know what I'm saying, the Trail of Tears. The reason why they gave them Oklahoma because they thought that land was worthless. In the 1920s, the Osage Nation literally struck oil in their land. This man sound crazy as hell talking about some damn land patterns, as if we can't point out multiple different tribes that have been over by the United States federal government based off of land deeds. The Osage Nation murders is literally how white people were able to strategically marry into and murder off an entire tribe of people down there to take their land. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of people in this Osage around there in Tulsa, Oklahoma that's still alive. But when it comes to the land that he believes is so God, we find the land, brother. So for the black people that have so-called land ties to all the land that was bought in Louisiana Purchase, which one of the treaties or which one of the states do they go to say, hey, Earth Speaks on TikTok said that I'm indigenous to this land, and I know that the goddamn French had sold this land to the English during this time, but he told me our people doing what you said, land patents. Yeah, so what we go with that? You sound crazy as hell. You feel what I'm saying? And this right here, this what it is. These
To answer consciously question, the Bureau of Land Management. That's what you go to. It's just a simple fucking answer. Bureau of Land Management. Consciously, you're saying a bunch of nothing. What happened to all the land black people own? Land grabs. We know that black people lost their land, and he's sitting up here making it seem like he's really attacking it. He's really attacking that shit. He's making fun of that shit, and he's trying to sound sophisticated with it. But all I can say is Bureau of Land Management. That's where everyone go to. That's where you see your land patents. Okay? God damn. All this just to say
trivial
it's just dumb.
Identity debates in the black community are just as trivial as when niggas arguing about who should sit in the back seat, your wife or your mama. These arguments are stupid. You know why they stupid? It's because when white folks see us, whether you identify, you can shake your head all you want to, my whether you identify as being indigenous or Hebrew or Jamaican or whatever nationality, ethnicity you want to, that does not stop white supremacy. You see what I'm saying? What I know is that if you go to New York, go to Miami, come to Houston, you saying, I'm indigenous, not only is gonna laugh at you, white folks gonna say, so what? You see what I'm saying? And because I know the reality of the reality of America, I know that there's no YouTube video you can go to say, hey, I can tell you the genealogy of this seed and tell you that the womb come from, this sounds like a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. As a matter of fact, to end this debate, y'all remember Living Color, Oswald Bates? Tell me he don't sound like the indigenous version of Oswald Bates. Tell me he don't. Education is elevation. My name is Conscious Lee. I am him.
No, we ain't gonna give him that much credit. He don't even sound like that either. No, because he's not proving black people as indigenous. He's really, I ain't gonna lie, he's really a fucking farmer. That's what's going on. We got a farmer versus Conscious Lee. Cause this is not indigenous shit. All he talk about is plants and shit.
I only got one more speech left. This shit easy, man.
So as you can see here, he don't got no rebuttals to none of this stuff. He's surface level dude. He's not ready. He just getting hair connected on his little information goatee. As you can see right here, he ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? So look, I'm gonna break you down like this since you brought up Oklahoma, my man. And it wasn't the 1820s, it was the 1830s, my man. And that walk the Trail of Tears, how do you know that? How do we know that that's our people? Because in Oklahoma, when you look at when Black Wall Street was, it was the same exact time. It's the same exact time, boss. You know, hey, shout out to these troops. Yo, listen, so let's keep on going. Let's just keep on going because this is so easy. This right here is like so much easy work. It's not even funny. When we're talking about the origin of people, like I said, you want to keep on saying all of the origins, all these origins start over in Africa and all that. Nah, I just showed you that the Amazon rainforest predates the hominids. That means Lucy, Homo erectus, Zinzanthropus, any of them. So, and those is monkey bones, my man. You better go check that out. But when you want to get in, let's get into a little bit of pyramid work before I leave you be. Before I leave you be, because I'll let you know right here that in North and South America, there are more pyramids and earthworks here than anywhere on the planet combined, boss. In fact, I know this man right here or Billy Carson, because I'm telling you, these are the oldest primordial pyramids. This is the ancestral lands to the Egyptians. They know. They like literally, that's what that is. You have no idea about any of this stuff, but you want to literally come up here and debate me about something you literally have no clue about, my man. You literally, in fact, let's just keep going, because if Africa was up first, why do we have the oldest forest here? Why is that also planted with the milpa planting system? Why? Yeah, look it up. I'll spell it for you. MIPLA. Milpa planting system. And if you look at the Sumerian tablets and the Sumerian drawings, you'll see that that's not a pine cone in his hand, like you and your homeboys be talking about. That's not a pine cone. That is a piece of corn. That's maize. And that is squash and beans next to that maize.
I'm gonna give it to Earth Speaks when he was talking about the Trail of Tears part. He is correct on that. I just wish he showed something on the screen for the audience, because showing visual sources, man, that takes you a long way. It opens the people's eyes. But I'm gonna give it to Earth Speaks on that. Yeah, that was correct. But he going back to this goddamn vegetation shit, the milpa plant system. I know I forgot the name of that shit, but he going right back to that. And I'm telling you that's not good. He should just stay with the Trail of Tears shit. If you trying to prove black people are indigenous, you should just rock with the Trail of Tears shit and just stay with that instead of going right back to this super ancient time, you know.
And that is also the milpa planting system that is native to here, Atlantis, right here, buddy. So yeah, you literally ain't ready for this debate. You literally just listen to whatever college the professor
Oh yeah, I also forgot. I had I won't call it a debate with Earth Speaks, but I had a verbal discourse. I'll say that. We was talking about that corn that he's talking about in that little plant system. He said that's not a pine cone. That's a corn. And he's talking about the picture of the Syrian holding a fucking object in his hand that looks like a cone. He said it's corn. So I asked him, how long ago was that statue created, or this cuneiform? Because that's really is. It's an impression in the wall. I asked him, how old is that? He said 3,000 to 5,000 years ago. I said, okay, this is where I had Earth Speaks. This is how I made him look fucking stupid. I said, Earth Speaks. Is the modern corn today a genetic modified version of the ancient corn? He said, in quote, I'm a baby and I'm on Similac and I don't know what I'm talking about. I repeated the statement again. You said that this statue was created. This cuneiform was created 3,000 to 5,000 years ago. You saying that's a piece of corn in his hand. I asked him the question. Is the corn a genetic modified version of the ancient corn? He still kept saying I'm on Similac. So he didn't want to answer the question. So I said, since you don't want to answer the question, I would briefly explain. The corn, what corn looked like 3,000 to 5,000 years ago, isn't what corn looked like today. Corn was literally as skinny as a fucking pencil. Matter of fact, not even skinny as a pencil. It was skinny as a pine needle. Corn was literally thin as a pine needle. That's how I debunked this dumbass with that goddamn cuneiform statue when he showed a little. They say that's an Anunnaki or whoever it is. He holding the goddamn pine cone. And I showed him like, hey, it's impossible. There couldn't be no corn because corn didn't look like that back in those days, especially 5,000 years ago. It was skinny as a pine needle. So how's that a corn? How's that the modern corn? You don't know what you're talking about. You won't simulate. Get his ass off my panel. He kicked me off the panel after I explained it. I said, I got his ass. I made him look fucking stupid. When you whoop Earth Speaks ass, he will keep name calling you and he would kick you off the panel. And he blocked me right after that live. He blocked me. He only calls me over there when his following is low and his pages got banned or restricted or whatever, so he can get his following back up. I say, you're not finna milk me. You're not finna do that to get your following back up. It's not gonna happen. It's not. But yeah, that was the last confrontation me and him had. Modern corn didn't look like corn from 3,000 to 5,000 years ago. So your ideology, your theory falls upon itself. As soon as somebody bring up that corn was genetically modified. So that's, if Earth Speaks ever bring that to y'all, just throw that shit in his face. Because he ain't going to let me do it no more. All right. Let's get back to it.
I don't know who would ever give you a degree. I don't know. I have no idea. But right now, I know you need some degree because you sweating. Because you have no idea what is even happening to you. Right now, you think you're getting hopped on by information right now. I'm going to go ahead and yield, man, because you really haven't answered any of these things.
To the people in the back, right now, I'm putting on a debate clinic. Right now, every speech, at the top of the speech, I'm giving you the framework and the literal metric that you can literally be able to measure this debate in terms of, is he meeting the metric? In this debate, has he given you any reason to not believe that people in America, black people in America of African descent? He's told you about the hominage. He's told you about celestial seeds. He's told you about tomatoes. He's told you, and listen, in debate, we call this straw man argumentation. He's making points to arguments I've never made. And no point in these 3 speeches have I made any arguments about the Back to Africa claim. In any of these speeches have I made the claim that Africa people are the original people. I'm making a specific small argument. Majority of melanated people in America that identify as African American or of African descent. And he is committing an indigenous erasure. As a matter of fact, this man has watched some YouTube videos about seeds in the hominage and he's a pseudo-intellectual. He's thinking deeply about shallow shit and drowning in his own understanding. He has never answered the argument. Okay, sir, you say you are indigenous and black. He say he black and Hebrew. He say he black and Moor. He say he African American. The law enforcement are looking at you. Based off of statistics, black people are 3 times more likely of being punished.
It's a script.
Black people are 5 more times of being stereotyped. What I'm telling your black ass is that you can tell me about the hominid all you want to. What I'm telling you is your melanin is going to be tied to people of African descent, and as a result, you're going to experience anti-blackness. You see what I'm saying? You see how that works? It's simple shit. It's simple shit. You see what I'm saying? I don't like you can try to flex all of the understandings you have about seeds, about migration. I don't have to beat you on that argument. The argument I have to beat you on is that the majority of the people that are melanated that identify as African American in America are of African descent. I can show you policy. Even the white folks know that we are of African descent. That's the reason why the census record was able to keep the touch of black people until the 1790s, because we was marked as what? As property. We also know is that just like we can acknowledge there were, what you said, the Black Wall Street was at the same time of the Osage murders. That's the argument. That's my argument. Want to be clear. The Osage murders happened at the same time of the 1920s. When I was talking about the Osage murder in the 1920s, I was.
No, I ain't gonna lie. Consciously just lied on Earth Speaks. I ain't gonna lie with that. That's why I be saying consciously he got away with words. Then he will turn around and lie on you. Earth Speaks never called himself a Moor. He called himself an Indian and an Atlantean in this presentation. Well, discussion, not presentation, discussion. But yeah, and he just said the Osage murders happened at the same time as Black Wall Street. Earth Speaks didn't say that either. He said the Trail of Tears and Black Wall Street happened at the same time. So consciously, he's verbally lying on Earth Speaks. Even though I'm biased, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to Earth Speaks because who he is, but I'm not gonna sit up here and let that lie slide like that. But yeah, that was a total lie.
Not referring to the goddamn Trail of Tears. That's you having horrible listening skills. Hey, my debate coach always said, Mr. Lee, if they can't understand your argument, they can't beat your argument. You don't understand my argument. You have never responded to any of my arguments. All you doing is damn near having an intellectual contest about the homage. I just smash your off about your argument about land patents. And when you got up and responded, you didn't respond to none of my rebuttals. And the people in the back, right now, what we call this extending your argument. When he get up, all he doing is windmilling, throwing a whole bunch of hoping something sticks. I'm literally giving you a clinic. When you go back and watch this debate, you're gonna be able to see the top of Conscious Lee's speech was framing about how you have to win and what we debating about. All three of the speeches. I also said, listen, let's say you're right. What does this mean in terms of impact? I'm telling you, he can say that he's indigenous all he wants to. I even said so. Land patents. So you telling me indigenous people are using land patents to take back land that was taken from colonialism? Yes. So again, I even asked them. I asked them in my last speech. I'm gonna ask them again. In his speech, I want him to respond. I want you to pay attention to how he does not respond, and if he do respond, it's gonna be some horrible. Close my door. So which state?
Close it.
Which treaty do we go to if I say I believe Earth Speaks consciously is no longer African descent, I'm indigenous? Which white person do I take it to say, hey, the land y'all bought from that white man, the French dude, that wasn't his land to even sell y'all. That was my land. Which I go to? That's how crazy you sound right now. It sounds like he's living in La La Land. It sounds like he believed that if he do some genealogy, he can go back and take land that has been stolen through colonialism. He sound like a settler colonizer. Hey, white folks go.
Why does he keep talking about white people? I see y'all saying it in the comments. Why he keep talking about white people? So we got to go to white people for everything. You don't have to go to white people for everything. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this guy. Why? I guess the white man is this nigga God or something. He praised the white man. White man told he was African. He said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. What the fuck is wrong with him? So that's your, yep, that's agent vibes. You know what I'm saying? Reverend Jesse Jackson vibes. That's exactly what the fuck I'm seeing right now. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. Don't he got a white baby mama? I mean, Earth Speaks, he partly white too, but don't he got a white baby mama? Or something like that. Like it's kind of crazy. And I know he a fruit basket. I mean, something, yeah. Crazy work. But I don't know why he keeps saying that. I don't know why he keep talking about land patents. And he's talking as if black people ain't getting their land back. There's plenty of black people that got their land back that was stolen from them. I mean, he act like this shit doesn't happen.
Go tell Indians that we're the real indigenous people. We're the real Americans. That's what he sound like. All he's doing is showing y'all he know how to repeat speaking points. He ain't showed me no argument. He ain't showed me no debating. He ain't responding to my arguments. He ain't giving me no evidence. He telling me which one of my arguments that he talking about seed hominids disprove. Does this argument about hominids disprove what I'm saying about white supremacy? No. Does this argument about land patents disprove what I'm saying about no. What are we doing? He just wanted to be my friend. He could have said that.
No.
See what I'm saying? You could have just said that. But you ain't proved a goddamn thing in here. To me, you sound like you dry ass trying to evangelize and you dry ass trying to, you feel me, increase your membership. You see what I'm saying? And peep game too. For the people that in the back that don't like me, if you don't like me, just say you don't like me.
I
Don't
like
make up nothing. You see what I'm saying? And two, listen, if you don't like me, that's fine. Keep your hate to yourself. You ain't gotta be dry as hell and go try to recruit other for the hate consciously crew. You see what I'm saying? Education is elevation. Research over me search. Say no to that. And listen, if this man had the ability to deal with it like me when he was my age, he would be much better than where he is right now. But unfortunately, he's just coming across me now. Damn, man, ancestors and God, y'all should have blessed this man earlier. My speech over with.
Okay, so I'm so glad because that sounded like a whole bag of hot wind. I don't even know what just happened, man, but you've been drinking. You must have went in your house and got a whole big pitcher of Kool-Aid and started drinking your own Kool-Aid out here. I don't know what's going on, brother. But listen, you don't know what a land patent is. You need to do reading fundamental. You know the reading rainbow? You might need to go take a ride on that. So check this out, right? Let's be real. Now, if I can just take another little talking point and I can really leave you with it, because when you look at the Human Genome Project of 1996, oh yeah, you know what it is. They copyrighted it because they did not. What you want to talk about? The Hablo group? Let's talk about our Hablo groups because we're the R1. We're the R1 and we're the D. Right, the same ones that they found in the mummies here. So you can say whatever you want, and just for the record, melanated people are the only people who ever mummified their dead. Okay, but let's get back to this Human Genome Project. Now, the people that you are talking about is indigenous people, native people, are in fact the 6th genome sequence, which is the lowest genome sequence, only second to lowest to the chimpanzee, who has one more genome lower than them. Now, the East Asian, that's what they're called. That's who they are, the East Asian. So they cannot be indigenous to anywhere on the planet, especially not the oldest ancient lands on the planet. That's number one, right? Next up is the European, which is another 6 genome sequence, okay? After them, it would be preposterous to think that those 2 6 genome sequence can create an African, right? That would be.
Is this the motherfucking non-ether talk? Is this the non-ether ideology? Is this what the fuck we doing? Hold on. Hold on. God damn, I'm muted. I fucked up. I was muted. But let me start that over again. Is that the fucking non-ether talk? Is that the non-ether ideology? Is that the non-ether theory? I told you we gotta stop that shit. We gotta stop that shit. The 6 sequence and all that stuff. Like I said, that's entertainment shit to me. We gotta stop that. But we know these people are the beast of the field. We know these people DNA is inclined to beast. We know that. But when it comes down to indigeneity and who we are, these are not the topics we don't need to be going into. Yeah, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 neurons. Hey, that's dumb as hell, bro. I mean, wrong topic, wrong discussion. And to be honest, both parties lost the damn plot. Both parties lost the plot. They don't know. Neither one of them don't know what the heck they talking about. Consciously, he on some type of sermon. He I don't know. I think he perceiving himself as a god right now. You know what I'm saying? He, like my bro Ron say, he acting like Nature Boy Rashad Jamal right now. And Earth Speaks now Earth Speaks looking like the one that's the smart one right now for some reason. I don't know how the fuck this shit went. It's just crazy. This shit is just crazy. I'm confused at this point. And this is what I mean by now it's turning into entertainment. That's what it is. It's this whole shit just became entertainment. That's all it really is now.
Preposterous. Because they 2 blonde hair, blue eye, recessive genomes cannot make a 9 genome African, dark skin, neuromelanated person, right? That would be preposterous. So how could they be indigenous over the African anywhere? And there's proof that they come from the African, so they can't be indigenous. Now, yes, there's proof that they come from the African. Now, when you get to the African genome, they have a 9 genome sequence, and that's a fact. But when they came to the Americas, they found the 12 and the 15 genome sequence, my man, showing when you add Mendel's law to that, you can get the recessive from the dominant, but you can't get the dominant from the recessive. Meaning the 9 genome sequence is preposterous to think that they made the 12 or the 15 genome sequence, my man. Now, when you're talking about land patents, yeah, you're getting completely destroyed right now. I'm literally just laying into you, my man, because you literally are up here and you changed the argument. First of all, you changed the argument to now you're not talking about the origin anymore. Now you're talking about something else because you're ill prepared to come and deal with this earth smoke. You coughing and you reacting on the floor. You reacting, look at you. You got emotional. You was quick to get emotional. And you needed to, yeah. And since I done destroyed you on this topic, you might as well go ahead and take that Nefertiti off because she's an Atlantean person anyway. She's from here. Anyway, like I said, yeah, exactly. That y'all, look, y'all done brought this man, this to show you right here, education is not synonymous with intelligence. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's probably got all the jabs and he's probably.
Whoa. Hold on. Consciously, what is that around your neck? Is you appropriating the Egyptian? Ain't you West African? Don't he claim to be West African? Did he say he came from Sierra Leone? Why the fuck you got an Egyptian piece around your neck? Appropriating the Egyptians. This is what I mean. Pan-Africans desire to be Egyptians, and no slaves from Egypt was ever brought to America. So I don't understand what's y'all fascination with fucking Egypt. And you say you're a West African slave. You're dumb. Why don't you got a fucking I don't know, a fucking a straw man or I don't know, a hyena legs or monkey paws around your neck? Why the hell you got an Egyptian a piece around your neck? You could have put fucking lion hair around your neck or something. These niggas, bro. Like I said, false teachers on both sides. False teachers on the Pan-African side and false teachers on the Atlantean side, because Earth Speaks is not an Indian. He's a European. But false teachers on the Pan-African side and false teachers on the European side.
Probably got a doctorate. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole point here. You get what I'm saying? You know, he's not ready. This is why I can't get a debate on no platform. I don't want at everybody, and y'all brothers ain't ready. I don't know what these people that have been feeding you, but they've been feeding you lies. I don't know what they tell you in these schools, but it ain't nothing right. And look, you acting like this right here. You literally in your mind think that these 6 genome sequences are indigenous over the Olmec people. You're tripping. And by the way, for all the people who act like the Olmec are from West Africa, right? That's a whole big fallacy. Oh, the Olmec are from West Africa. Let me set the record straight real quick for my ancestors and my divine Atlantean people in the she right here, right now. Because y'all know me. And by the way,
come on, bro. We all know your ancestors sound like this, nigga. That's what your ancestors sound like. Your ancestors is not fucking Indians, bro. Stop that, Earth Speaks. Your genealogy already been exposed, Mr. Dunbar, the Royal Dunbar. Come on, man. Stop that shit.
Lee, I do bigger numbers than you in my live stream, so I ain't clout chasing nothing, my man. But let me break it down to you. Because my live streams is way better than yours, and they way litter. My thing is lit. So let me break this thing down to you real quick. The Olmec actual name is the Tuttle She, right? That's where they took Jesus's name from, that whole thing. But we ain't going to get into that. They keep on saying that these people are West African, right? But there were 17 Olmec heads, 17 Olmec heads, right? Go look that up. Yeah, go Google everything about me. Look, as I ain't writing nothing down about you, trust me. Listen, so there were 17 Olmec heads, my man.
Bro,
There
what
were
the fuck?
17. Oh, you better Google everything I said. There were 17
What the
Olmec
hell?
heads, right? And those
That is
Olmec heads
wild.
are made of, and they keep on saying the Olmecs are from West Africa, right? But those Olmec heads are made out of something called basalt. I'll spell it for you. BASALT. Basalt. Now, if you look in West Africa, there is no basalt anywhere
What the fuck
in
it
West
got to do with
Africa.
us?
Nowhere. Nowhere. And when you look up, not one place, boss, not one place in West Africa is there basalt or Olmec heads or any of that or pyramids or none of that. And it's the fact that they made beautiful edifices, my man. So if you are you saying that those are the Mexican people? Because if you look today, we are still the same people. Because the Olmec, the reason why they call them Olmec is because they are.
Look, Earth Speaks is not even debating consciously. He's debating some imaginary person. Literally. Conscious Lee is not debating Earth Speaks. He's debating an imaginary person. Because, let's be honest, they asking each other questions and they making statements to shit neither one of them ain't said. So, Earth Speaks' enemy is whoever he's debating in his mind. I don't know who Earth Speaks is debating, but this individual is in his mind. So, consciously the same. Like I said, it's confusion.
The rubber people, and they took rubber from the Panama tree and we made the rubber. We did a bunch of things with it, but we also
Oh,
made the
yeah.
rubber ball games. What we do today, and we dominate. We are the mother culture of this planet, my man, and we still dominate today. Everybody, the rest of the world gets their culture from us. Literally, we are the 15 genome sequence, my man. You better start recognizing the divine Atlantean in your own self.
Yeah. So what we just seen right here is we
You
see a
know me. You
complete
know me.
we see a complete retelling of history where he
What the
says
fuck?
that the individuals that call themselves indigenous to Americas, they're really East Asians, and that the people that call themselves Africans Americans in this country, they're really the indigenous people. You see, shaking his head correct. So just so everybody's clear. My argument is that not only is that some bamboo preposterous bullshit, is that we have evidence to show that African people got off slave boats and was able to populate America to what we know now as African Americans. I've even asked him and said, "Hey, listen, let's go with your argument of land patents, because because in debate, it's somebody that's been able to not only able to coach debate, but also judge debates. Some people will feel like, hey man, these are two ships passing in the night, and we don't have much clash. The reason why we don't have much clash in this debate is because you're not getting into the point for point refutation. You see what I'm saying? The only time you tried to come over to respond to one of my arguments is when you repeated land patents after I said land patents when you said land patents. I'm telling you, okay, I agree.
Okay. So now Conscious Lee, now he's on serious mode now. Now the nigga on serious mode. I guess he done playing now. I guess he done playing. He still ain't gonna show shit. But now he put away all the goofy shit now, and now he want to talk all serious and shit now. You see that he's tired now. He's tired. We can see the whole demeanor just changed. Just like what Felton said, we got different personalities going on here. Now serious conscious came out. Seriously came out now.
Let's say for argument's sake, I agree with you. Earth Speaks told me I'm not of African descent. I'm of indigenous descent. What state, what treaty do I respond to say, hey, this land, this massive piece of land that was able to double the 13 colonies that was bought from colonizer to colonizer, we both agree on that. I'm asking you, where do we go to? You have not responded to that at all. You've only gone on and on and on about tomatoes, the homage, land patents.
Tomatoes.
How debate works is when an individual makes an argument, you respond to that argument. You keep on giving me what aboutism, what about? And this is how, again, this is a direct response to an argument. You're talking about pictures and how if you look at Olmec heads. My last speech, I said something about straw man argumentation and when people making arguments to points that were never made. I recognize you're used to having conversations with Pan-Africans. I recognize that a lot of Pan-African people bring up Ivan Van Sertins, They came before Columbus. When you start talking about Almex, so-called people say they from West Africa, that claim comes from Ivan Van Sertima's book, They Came Before Columbus. I'm a scholar that knows that Ivan Van Sertima's book has been debunked 5,000 or 6,000 times, right? Ivan Van Sertima's book has been it's been debunked so much that I wouldn't even bring and make it a claim. So the fact that you still figured out a way to make that speaking point in this debate and it never was brought up, it is very telling. You did not come here to have a debate. You came here to try to throw as much shit out as possible, hoping for something to stick. I've still said, okay, Earth speaks. They say there are more. They say they Hebrew Israelite. You say you Black and Indigenous. How does this make you immune from the system of policing? I even gave you a statistic. Hey, Black people are 3 times likely of being convicted and this much likely of being stereotyped. How does you identifying as being Indigenous stop you from that? You didn't respond to it. You even accused me of moving the goalpost and said, oh, now he's not debating origins. My argument has been the same from the jump. The majority of people that identify as African Americans in this country come from Africa. I've never negated that point. I've even said so much that, hey, even the white folks know where we're from. That's to people watching, this is what we call argument development. Argument development is when you're able to go more levels to the more develop your argument. The middle passage is something that the entire world took part into, not just America. We acknowledge that people in the South America, like Brazil, the reason why Brazil has the biggest population of Africans outside of Africa is because the Portuguese were amazing enslavers. They were amazing enslavers. As a matter of fact, most of us African Americans in this country, we didn't come through America, we came through the Middle Passage. So when we start to think about the African diaspora and the way in which people of African descent is dispersed throughout this world, we get to think about this word I'm going to call intersectionality, or we're going to call it coalitions, right? We can acknowledge that there are different times in history where indigenous people had a hand in enslaving African peoples, i.e. the 5 civilized tribes. We also can acknowledge there were times in history where indigenous people helped Black people in the Underground Railroad or Seminole people in Florida. We can acknowledge that there's a multiplicity of both people of African descent and indigeneity. We acknowledge there are there are indigenous tribes that aligned with colonizers, and there were indigenous tribes that fought against colonizers. We acknowledge that there were African peoples that aligned with colonizers, and there were African people that fought against colonizers. So when we think about places like Texas, places like Mississippi, places like Florida, we can acknowledge that literally we have Chutta people. Chutta, y'all know Chutta, Choctaw, white folks talk Choctaw, Chutta people, literally talk about their engagement with enslaved Africans off of boats. No, a better example. In the port of Louisiana, the French was dealing with the Haitian Revolution. Would you tell me that the Haitians are indigenous too? They'll be dumb, right? A lot of us are descendants from there, right? But we can acknowledge that the reason why America got the Louisiana Purchase is because of what was going on in the little bitty island of Haiti. And that how the French had to sell it to the Americans. Why did they sell it to the Americans? Because they were losing to enslaved Africans. This is empirically true. That we can point to little history that shows there were African people that got off of boats in Haiti and fought against the French. We can also acknowledge, historically speaking, that there are slave masters that are worried about enslaved people getting the word about what's going on in Haiti and getting empowered and inspired, because literally they're gonna be like, damn, I don't know what's going on. I don't want my slave people to go fight against the people that they fight against my plantation the way they're doing against those French. That is literal proof that Black people got off of a boat from Africa. Literal proof. Let's keep on going, man. So in the city of Louisiana, in the city of New Orleans, state of Louisiana, we know we have Creole culture. Creole culture is what? A mixture of indigeneity, African culture, and a European culture. That is another example proving how there were African peoples that got off the boat into this country. Do I keep on going? It's like, hey man, all I'm saying If you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready. You see what I'm saying? What we also know is that opinions like everybody got one, and they usually.
Earth Speaks left. I can see it. He left. This nigga went on, started preaching a whole damn sermon. Look at him. Earth Speaks don't even pop back up. No, he don't even pop back up. God damn. God damn, bro. That shit was crazy. That was crazy. These niggas, they both lost the plot. They both was preaching. Earth Speaks. He said about 2-3 good points. Know what I'm saying? But we gotta we gotta start saying these things. That's not a debate. That whole entire thing was a real just a discussion, a church sermon. That's all it really was. Two preachers going at it without the Bible. Know what I'm saying? Quoting from their mind. That's all we got right here. So that's why I said be wary of false teachers. Let me put this back up here. Be wary of false teachers. Are black people indigenous to the Americas? Did Earth Speaks prove, and I need the commenters to tell me, did Earth Speaks prove black people was indigenous? What up, bro? What up, Key? Did Earth Speaks prove that black people were indigenous to America? We watched the whole debate. We literally just watched the whole debate. Did he prove it? And if y'all, and this the part, y'all can come up on the panel now. Y'all can come up on the panel if y'all want to now. Because if you saying yeah, I'm gonna need you to come up here and explain how. I'm gonna need you to come up here and explain how he won.
Oh my god, this was a headache, bro. Like consciously, he ain't prove shit, nor Earth Speak prove shit. Uh, and I'm gonna speak on Earth Speak right quick because man, this brother was babbling. He ain't so shit. He going into Kundalini energies, Atlantis, she, all types of stuff. He over here singing "Set sail with me to a paradise out beyond the sea." Nigga, get to the point, bro.
My
Like,
God.
show something. Same with consciously. Like, this dude sitting up here saying, police, help! What about the police? What about what white people think? What about what this, that? You're erasing Native Americans' history. But how, if this nigga's only talking about some pseudo space alien shit, like Goya Joya gets on this app talking about some space alien Lyran shit. Like, that's not erasing Native Americans. And this isn't proving or disproving some African descent shit either. Like, what are these niggas talking about?
I have no idea, but consciously he was funny when he said, all you've been talking about is just tomatoes this whole entire
You're
time.
now in the presence of Lord Master.
I was like, yeah. That's it. That
Potatoes.
shit was kind of funny. I was like, yeah. Because he did go back talking about the damn vegetables and fruits like three damn times. And I'm like, okay, how does that justify our identity in America? But I see Earth Speaks' point when he said that America was the first to come out the waters. Black people were the first people on Earth, so therefore black people were in America first. We're not associated with primates such as the Australopithecus, Homo erectus, things like that. Associated with monkey bones. That's and oh yeah, and part about the Trail of Tears happening at the same time with Black Wall Street. I said, okay,
You're now in the presence of Lord
I
Yep.
see
Master.
your
He
point.
caught him with that.
I see your point on that. But like I said, I would rather see something on the string. I mean on the screen to justify these points because people's gonna run off and say the same thing. That's Earth Speaks students. I call them. Brian Jehovah, what up, bro? Give it up for Brian
What's
Jehovah.
going
Your
on,
first
brother? I'm just
victory, first time you came
What's
over here.
going on, brothers?
yeah, I had to, man.
What up, bro?
I'm gonna learn, man. I'm gonna be educated, brother. You
Uh,
rocking now?
bro, we already went through the whole thing. We was playing Earth Speaks debate with Conscious Lead, man. That shit was
Common
horrible.
sense.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so we really at the tail end of this live. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yep.
Okay.
Common sense.
Hello.
No one
So
has common sense anymore.
yeah. So what you think about it?
I think that you can't get Caucasians from among black people from Caucasians or whatever. You can't get that.
Mm-hmm.
And these so-called Native Americans, there's no way possible they could produce us.
Right.
Okay, and being that America or the so-called land you call America was the first to come out the water, you know what I'm saying? How is it possible for us to come from them? No common
You're
sense. See,
now in the
common sense is
presence
not
of Lord
common for
Natural.
everybody, is it?
Thank you for the gift, bro. Yeah, it's quite impossible. But yeah, I see that goes back to that. What was he saying? 9 sequence, 8 sequence, 6 sequence. That 6 proton.
6 protons,
I
You're
six
guess that
now in the
goes back
presence
neutrons,
to.
of Lord
I guess that goes
Natural.
back to
electron.
that. I mean, like I said, I don't deal with that studies. I mean, that's some nature boy stuff, ain't it?
I
What
don't
is it?
either.
Who they go back to? Rashad Jamal. I don't.
Yeah,
That goes back to the Circle Seven, gods and earths, and the Nation of Islam,
yep.
the 96,000 trillion square miles of land, and
Nonsense.
Man, look.
Yakubian theory, Atlantean, Mu.
I'm just
I
gonna
don't
say
deal
this.
with theories because that's like a guesswork.
If you want to prove that black people were here pre-Columbian time, you don't talk about tomatoes, watermelons, and corn on the cob and all that bullshit. You don't do that. If you're gonna go from a scientific perspective, you don't talk about how America was the first out of the water. What you do, you deal with anthropology. You will find our fossil remains and you'll accommodate that with genetic science. That's how you prove Columbian standpoint from a scientific point of view. From a second point of view, which is a direct point of view from the ancestors, you will look up their culture. You will see anything that's similar to Negro people, such as the codex. What's the name of that codex I always talk about? I forgot the name of it. Tanu, the Codex Tanu, that depicts a bunch of black people in it, and various Olmecs codexes as well. It's only one of them that depicts black people, the black god in there. There's you could talk about that when you're dealing with languages. There's different indigenous languages that addresses black people, and there's some tribes that's actually named the black tribes in certain indigenous languages as well. The other part to prove how black people were here before pre-Columbian time is to address what colonizers said when they first arrived, how they described the people, what the culture of these people were doing, what they were doing in their culture. Compare the culture of the indigenous people pre-Columbian time to modern people today. Native Americans do not practice the same culture as pre-Columbian Indians. They don't
No, they
at all.
don't.
We already did a comparison. We've been doing this for 5 years. We showed it. They I don't know. They eat fucking raw meat. They walk around in the desert naked and shit. But when I see the Indians on the East Coast, they dressed in the finest linen, the finest apparel. We had different structural remains over here. We had different cultures. We the way how we prepared our food was different compared to the people on the West Coast. The people on the West Coast didn't even use fucking seasoning. The
Right.
East Coast had seasoning. How the West Coast of America didn't have season, but the East Coast did. So that's showing me two
Crazy.
types of people were here. I mean, it could have been more types, but trying to prove
Yeah,
that
it's
black
crazy
people,
how they cuisine is like pemmican is like trail mix
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah, mixed with blood, right? Mixed with blood.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
just like that shit they make in Europe. What's that shit they call it? What's the name of that pudding? Piggy pudding, blood pudding.
blood pudding,
It's the same shit on
Blood
the West
pudding.
Coast of the,
Yeah.
blood sausages.
yeah, it's the same shit on the West Coast of America. The same shit, literally. To me, that's beast behavior. We don't eat shit like that.
Right. Don't touch pork.
Yeah, yep. The East Coast didn't eat pork like that. Now the Caribbeans, they had the blue boar. I brought this out in the
Hmm.
Sir Francis Drake manuscript that they had the blue boar, and that's what they was eating on.
Yep, and pirates would stop by and pick those things up and eat them on special occasions.
Yep.
If you look into some of these pirate informations.
Yep. So it's most definitely easy to prove black people were here pre-Columbian time. It's easy to
Right.
prove that Africans came over here pre-Columbian time too, and it's also easy to prove that Africans came here post-Columbian time. But When we dealing with Africans come here post Columbia time, that's when we got to go into numbers, the real evidence, the real sources. We ain't looking at no damn database. We're not
Right.
doing that. We need the real source from an old book during the time of 1619, even before 1619, to justify African slaves coming over here. We're not denying that it didn't take place, but we're denying the insane numbers. You gotta excuse my son in the background, but he's crying. But we gotta justify those numbers. That's why
Right.
we've been on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. We've been proving this claim. If you got ties to Africans, then you got ties to Africans. That's good. I'm not bashing you if you do. The thing what I'm saying is, can you prove that you have it on a personal level? Don't include everybody else in your history. If you got the slave manifest to justify that you come from Africa to the Caribbeans, good for you. Know what I'm saying? Work on your claims. Work on your demands, your remedy. Do that. But don't include every black person in America to that just because we have the same skin color. Because every black person in America didn't come from Africa. We got black people coming from Russia to America. We got black people from Germany that came here. And we got a huge influx of Sephardic Jewish people who are black and crypto Moorish people who were black that came over here and colonized and settled here as well. They even formed the New Granada in South America. And there was a whole black country from Europe.
Right. My grandmother called it the West Indies.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So to say all black people come from Africa just based off skin color is a lie. I say just prove it from a personal level. If you got the documentation, good. Know what I'm saying? But don't sit up here and throw everybody in it because it's disrespectful to their own, you know what I'm saying,
Eddie,
oral
you
history.
smart. You very
Right.
smart.
It's disrespectful to their own genealogy. And we
This
know,
what got me.
yeah, and
What got me is when they opened up the mounds. They went inside of it, and they pulled out the things that were inside these mounds, and they found the scripture block Hebrew on this little tablet they brought out the mounds, and they in a figurine of what they above a brown uh, or dark brown statue of what they call Moses or whatever like that, and they said the beings that were inside these mounds had 12 fingers and 12 toes. Okay. Now, I was born with 12 fingers, not 12 toes, but 12 fingers I was born with. Okay. So I know that I'm indigenous to this place.
no, you're referring to somebody's phone going on, but you're referring to the El
I'm
Gante,
sorry.
the El Gante. They was talking about South America. I seen colonizers talk about a certain group of people, certain tribes that had six fingers on each hand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I seen that. I seen that as well. I seen that was said there was a tribe of people that was 7 feet tall in South America called
Right.
them. They called them the El Gante tribes. But same thing in same thing in Africa. We got people that's 7 to 8 feet tall in Sudan. So we know does that mean those people down there in South America that was part of those tribes is they part of the Sudan people? No, their Negro people is different all around the world, whether
Right.
people like it or not. But if we, like I said, if we're gonna prove that we were here pre-Columbian time, we gotta do it the right way. We can't preach this shit. We can't do it. Now,
No.
I'm only focused on my people in America. I'm not focused on Caribbean people. I would like to.
Right.
I talk about when it comes down. There's a time and place when they talk about Caribbean people when we talk about colonization. But when it comes down to us as a people and our remedy, I'm only focused on my people. I'm not focused
Right.
on.
That's all.
I'm not focused on the immigrants and the people claiming over here, coming over here claiming to be Black Americans. Then once they ass get locked up and the government coming out their ass, all of a sudden they Nigerian and all this other bullshit. I'm not. I'm
Right.
not focused on those type of people.
You know, I have a problem with them those people anyway because well, I met you have bad people in everybody's. I'm not gonna say everybody, but you know something. I don't get with the Nigerians. You know, they think they real slick or you know what I'm saying or smarter than us or something.
Uh,
So I don't mix with those people.
I mean, you should have came to the live last night. We had this Nigerian named Oracle on the panel, and he was
Oh
talking up.
Lord,
You know him, Brian.
man.
Hey,
Mm.
he came over here and he put up on the screen the new artifact that they found in Maryland. What's called the spirit catch or something like that. Um,
Mm.
basically it's a broken pot with a plate and it look like a piece of glass. And he said
Oh.
the Yoruba have this same culture. He said this
Daddy,
proves
you
that black
smart.
people came from
You
Africa
very smart.
because of this artifact that was found. I said, okay. You said this is the culture that the African slave. Well, just ride the African slave narrative for a point. Okay, so you're saying this is what the African slaves were practicing, right? He was like, yeah. I said, okay. And you said only one artifact was found. And he's like, yeah. I said, okay. Why ain't we finding this shit all around the East Coast and the South of North America? Why only one pot was found? And I said, how you know they ain't came from some damn Spanish colonizer or some French colonizer? How you know that? I said it's just a
Right.
fucking broken plate. He calling me foolish and dumb. I'm like, okay, let's make it more simple. Show me the Yoruban version. He didn't even do that. I said, so how the fuck you know that's African?
Right.
You couldn't show it. I said people come on this platform and say any fucking thing, but when it's time to do a comparison and examination, when it's time to look at all the evidence, niggas can't do it. People just want to talk, and I'm fine with just talking. I'm cool with it, but don't come up here throwing shit at other people without evidence and the burden of proof. That's all I be saying.
Right.
That's all I be saying. Right?
Hey, Chief, I got a question. So you mentioned earlier, and I wish I would have caught your live earlier, man. But
Me too.
You're now in the
you
presence of
mentioned,
Lord
and this
Natural.
and this the thing too that I'm dealing with when I go at people or when we have these debates with Pan Africans or even Africans or even people from the Caribbean, right?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned that Africans did come here. You said, and I might, if I'm saying it incorrectly, just correct me. But pre Columbus, right?
Yes,
How
sir.
many do you think came over here?
Not a lot. When I
Exactly.
when I
It
say that,
wasn't.
I was talking about like the story of Bakari. They did found the same African spearheads in pre-Columbian time that was found in the west coast of West Africa. But here's the thing: why is it African spearheads, and what is African spearheads used for? What is those spearheads used for?
Mm, I
So
don't
that
know,
means
man.
you either came here to trade your spearheads or you came over here for war.
That's what
Right.
I was
One
just
or the
about to
other.
say.
So when Bakari, when I'm saying this is just a story, they say it's a story. So we're just gonna count it as an oral story. So if this did happen, why did Bakari come over here with a whole bunch of ships, with like it's a whole bunch of ships, and all the men on the ships were warriors?
Mm,
Mm.
That's just my thought process on it. Other people, I had Muslims debate me on this. I had continental Africans talk about this. I had Pan Africans talk about this. You cannot explain why he came over with these weaponries and a whole bunch of ships. If he was coming over here to trade, why didn't he come in a single ship like Columbus? Why didn't he do that?
mm,
Why he brought all these ships? So that's why I said, like, yeah, it is true. It is factual. Africans knew about America pre-Columbian time. It is true that it's a possibility that we traded and we did fought with them pre-Columbian time.
Right.
and one more question. So and see you making everything makes and I always knew this. And see, and that's the thing, and they keep saying, and you the person that I know a lot about this stuff, so I'm gonna ask you this. And they keep always saying that this out of Africa theory, but there's in my opinion, I don't see how we come from Africa. I just don't understand. I believe we come from here in America. Am I right to think that way?
Yeah, you're right to think that way because when you look at the African theory, let me pull up this study. When you look at the African theory, well, when you look at the other country's perspective, the Eastern Hemisphere perspective of the out of African theory, it will blow your mind. Mainly China, for one. And I'm gonna bring that up right now. This is what they said about the out of African about the out of African theory. They even give their thought process on the Eve gene. They tell you exactly where all this shit come from. And once you find out where all this stuff come from, you will literally, man, you'll get pissed off when anybody bring it up. Once you actually know exactly what it was. I wish the paperwork were here to explain that too. There go KB. What up, KB? Let me pull this up real quick. The paperwork party. This is their studies.
What the fuck? I really got it. Sorry.
Did you try to come up, KP?
No, I did it. I don't know how I got it here.
Oh, my
Sorry.
bad. Let me bring it down. All right. Out of African theory.
Mind you, it's still a theory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. So let me share my screen. Boom. Turn that off back there. Man, TikTok Studio go hard, bro. I can't wait till they advance this shit a little bit more. If they could make this just like if they could do this just like on the phone, like everything we're doing on the screen, I wish we could do this on the phone too. All right, so this is the document from China. Yes, I did translate it, but I'm just showing you what the original work is, and this was dated from 2019. I'm trying to go up there. It won't let me go up there. Damn. Open it up with a different one. Boom. Okay. This is from 2019. I don't know if y'all can see it. Can you see it? That's the date.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So it's updated. So we're gonna go to shit. Take that back off again. I'm using the wrong software. Okay. So I do got this document translated completely in English. I'm gonna put in my link tree if y'all wanna use this and look at it, so y'all can download it yourselves if y'all wanna show it, present it, show the people. Where is it? Is this it right here? Yes, here it is right here. It's on page. Damn, what? Do I got the page number? See, I translated the whole thing on this side. Page 493 in the document. And I put it through Google Translator, Chinese to English, so y'all can see. And here's the mitochondrial tree, but it's reversed. China says everything started with R, not L. White people say everything started with L. So, yeah.
What is that? What does that mean? If you don't mind me asking.
So basically, they said life started with LO, which is the mitochondrial Eve, which is they say the mother of us all. But when you go back to mitochondrial Eve, it's a fucking monkey, literally. It's a goddamn monkey. So,
Gotcha.
Damn, it would be that.
Mm-hmm. So China said no, it ain't L, because L, their shit is young. R is older, and R, if you look at R, it's mainly Asiatic. And they says the Australians, they claim Australian people is the oldest people on Earth, and a lot of them got R as well. The Papua New Guineans, South Asians, a lot of them carry R too.
Baby, you smart.
All right,
You
so this
very
right here,
smart.
this is the part I was talking about the out of Africa theory. Where jump on down right here. So it says the theory of African origins, and y'all can see my mouse. The theory of African origins is based on an infinite multi-site model as a premise, and uses chimpanzees. They're not using ancient bones.
No.
It says they're using chimpanzees as an ancestral site. Your out of Africa theory is based off chimpanzee sites, not humans, monkeys.
That's messed up, man.
So when black people be
You
like,
understand it. It's all
black
Darwin.
people be like, Africa's the mother of us all, nigga. I'm not a descendant of a goddamn monkey. This is what I'm
Right.
talking about. So white people be laughing at us when we be saying this shit, and they just let us say it. They just let people say
Right.
it. There go vibes. Vibes. You coming with the bullshit? Please don't come with no bullshit vibes. I guess it's fell. I guess his phone fell down the stairs and shit.
What's up, Chief?
What up, vibes? You coming with the bullshit today, or is you chilling?
Nah. You know what, man? I've been thinking about it, Chief. You gonna be my comrade, man.
Nah, bro. I can't, bro.
You know, I already got on
I can't.
Brian, right?
I can't, bro. I can't.
I got you. I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. Go ahead, brother.
But the theory of African origins is based on the infinite multi-site model as a premise and uses chimpanzees as an ancestral site to determine human sites. That's your out of African theory. That's your white man
So,
science.
so I got you. So
Yeah.
basically, Africans. Can I say Africans come from monkeys, or I'm being too dumb to say that?
If they claim life came out of Africa and they say they're the father of everything, the mother of everything, you're basically saying you was a monkey first.
Goddamn
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Wait, can you guys repeat that one more time for me for confirmation?
I know you're recording, so let me read the whole thing just for justification. The theory of African origins is based on the infinite multi-site model as a premise and uses chimpanzees as ancestral sites to determine human sites, which means they're basing our life, our origins from monkeys. But scientists would say primates, which is still consequently the same damn thing.
Pretty much. That's what it is.
So to say all life come from Africa, you saying we all came from primates. We all came from monkeys. That's all.
Right.
That's pretty much what you're saying. And China, they exposed this. 2019, they exposed. They said they're not using real human bones to determine this. They're using chimpanzees.
Mm. Now, Chief, if you was talked to a Pan African, what would they say back to you? Just hypothetically, if you was going back and forth and you show them this truth, and they read this themselves, how would you think they would respond
They
to
would
you,
say I'm
Chief?
full. They say I'm full of shit.
Mm.
They say I'm a
Right.
damn liar.
Sure
And
would.
it's right there, right? It's right there. The proof is right there.
Yeah. Whenever I
Okay.
tell people to look at science, I tell them look at the Eastern world. Don't look at white people's science. Look at what the other world. Look at what the Eastern side. Look at what the Eastern say. Don't look at Africans either. Don't look at their damn science because they base their science off the University of London and the University of Paris. That's where they go.
Thank you.
So don't go to their shit. Don't believe no African unless they a motherfucking living in Botswana in the middle of the village. Then sure, let's listen to their origin. What they perceive life is, because I know they don't got European influence. Let's see what they say. But a motherfucker with a fake ass doctor degree, scamming and shit, I ain't finna listen to them about the origins of life and shit like that.
Right. Right. Because they're cosplaying.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't care if you're Sulan, FBA, whatever. If you claiming to be African, the only thing I just say is just show the paperwork. That's all I just say. Like, I'm not gonna bash people that claim it, but when you say everybody is, that's when I gotta open my fat ass mouth, and I'm be like,
Right.
okay, because now you're disrespecting me and my grandparents, my brothers, my homeboys, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
you can't do that. You can't. Damn, you just can't do that, bro. I lost my train of thought right there, but you just can't do that. Like the dude.
Well,
Because
that's
they
the biggest
always try to
that's
put
the
this
biggest
push
content.
this
Oh.
Africa on us.
Yeah.
Why? They're trying to steal your property. They're trying to steal your land. That's what they're doing. You know? And not only that, let me tell you something. Nobody ever thought to use common sense again. You know what I'm saying? Think about the trip it takes to come from Africa to come to America. You know what I'm saying? In order to make that boat trip, you have to have provisions, okay? You know what I'm saying? You can't put enough provisions on that boat for a whole bunch of people, okay?
Facts.
Right.
The journey's going to take, 6 to 8 weeks to even get across it,
Look,
okay?
I remember back in 2015, they said it took 6 to 9 months to come to America. Then they changed it to 3 to 6 months. Now it's 3 months.
Right, that's a
I
long
remember they
time.
said 9 months.
That's a
Man,
long time without water.
They changed the duration over the years. I remember while I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. Yes, I used to be a Hebrew Israelite. Newsflash, whatever. But
Yep, I was there.
yep. So back in the day, I remember Bishop Nathaniel. I used to be a part of IUIC, the purple shirt niggas out of Memphis. So So he literally said in his presentation, he put it up on the screen. He showed that it took 9 months to get to Africa. He showed all the shit. I go back now, the shit say 3 months. So
That's a lot. A lot of them came over and starved to death because they didn't have provisions when they got here.
man, this shit crazy. Because if it took 9 months, there's no way you can. There's absolutely no way y'all people for to survive. And they wasn't even feeding them Africa.
They say the first Virginia colonies had to eat each other.
Oh yeah, and that's what happened to all the. I be asking the same question. What happened to all the bones and the burial sites of all these African slaves? Where are the 12 million where's the 12 million graves? Well, not graves. Where are the 12 million bodies? Where is that?
Right.
Where are all these bodies at? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, make it make sense.
But we
White tea people were cannibals. I hope you guys remember.
well, yeah, that's what I was going to get into.
Yeah.
Now, we're gonna be doing a round table today. What time is it? We're doing a round table at 7 o'clock today. That's if y'all gonna be there. I don't care if I have fucking 5 people in there, but we kicking off our round tables again. But in the round table, we're talking about what truly happened in the Caribbean, and we're gonna be exposing that Christopher Columbus was lying, saying that these people were cannibals, but they were coming over here eating motherfuckers themselves. And they went to the king
Right.
and told them, "Oh, they cannibals. We got justification to go over there and colonize them. They're noble. How they're sweet, noble people that follow law, but cannibals at the same time.
Right.
They didn't make sense to me.
It don't make sense.
And they
It
said
was definitely justification. Definitely.
so. Like when I looked at this old book, there's several different narratives about what happened in the Caribbean. Some say, "Oh, it was a war. These people were ruthless. They were killing us." Next, there's another book that say, "Oh, they didn't fight back. They just submitted themselves and we unalived them." Yada yada yada. Then they got another one that say, "Oh, they're just cannibals." Yada yada. There's so many different narratives, right? So man,
Yep.
I did like 3 weeks of research. I said I want to know what happened, why they came over here, who was the bloodline, who funded the ships. I want to know the people names. I want all that. I got all that. I got the whole folder ready to go.
Really?
Yeah,
Um,
bet. I'm gonna be there tonight, Chief. I'm gonna set my
I'll be
my
there.
clock for it, man. But I appreciate you having me up, though.
I
I'm
appreciate it.
I'm gonna catch your live today. Then you post this on YouTube. You're live on YouTube.
Yeah, this being recorded right now. Oh shit, it stopped recording. What the fuck?
Oh
Oh
man.
no, it's still going. It's still going. Good, good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your YouTube?
It's cheap natural. Same thing.
Chief Natural. Gotcha.
Hey,
I'm gonna
Brian, I
subscribe
want
to
to
it.
tell you something before you leave, Brian.
What?
Me and Chief's relationship is almost like yours and Tethers, but I'm a lot. I'm a lot. What do you say? I don't glaze, Chief, like you be glazing, goddamn
You ain't
Tether.
hold
Okay,
on.
I'll leave you
Brian
with
ain't
that one.
glazing me, bro. What you talking about?
Oh,
This dude.
I got Chief. I got you. Don't even worry. Don't
This
worry.
dude,
When
man.
Brian leaves, I'll talk to you some more.
No. I
Listen.
keep it cool. I keep it real all the way
Hey,
through.
Chief. Chief. This dude mad because I call him a Mexican African, man. I don't want to talk to no Mexican.
I'm
You see, I
fine with
didn't acknowledge him when he
man,
came to the
Hold on,
bro. You
wait.
stage, man.
such a
How the fuck
liar.
he mad at you about that? But
You-
I just hold on. I had a whole panel. The last time you got on the panel, vibes, they was getting on your ass about
yeah.
that.
No, we were talking about ice, bro. That's where it got a little crazy. You feel me? That's where I got a little heated. But other than that,
I ain't knocking your vibe.
I don't got a problem with Chief because I don't have a problem with Nigual, and that's how I know Chief.
Yeah, I
It's
got you. I
cool,
got
bro.
you.
Chief a cool dude. Yeah, but this ain't about me, man. It's Chief live, man. But
Oh,
anyway, Chief, I
you
appreciate you having me up, man. Nice to meet you, Clooney, man. I thank y'all for
Yes,
the
sir.
information. I'm
Pleasure.
mad that I came late, but
Hey
next
Brian,
time, make sure
I'm
I
gonna
be
start
here
getting on.
early.
I'm gonna start getting on y'all panels a little bit more, man. But shit,
Please
I be
do.
working too much, bro. Man,
Please, bro.
I barely be going live.
I understand. Hey,
was
you a
too
busy
busy
man.
snatching up Mexicans. You feel?
Man, dude.
Yeah, man. Anytime, bro. Anytime, man. I would love to have your insight, your knowledge, man. Especially educating me and others on more about indigenous. You know what I mean?
Bro,
Because I'm always gonna rock with my indigenous
whenever you
people,
have
regardless.
whenever you have an African on the panel and they going crazy, just send me an invite, bro. I'll come with the sources. If I got my MacBook around me, I'll pull it up and bout them up
Bet,
for you if you need me
bet.
to.
Anytime, bro. You always got an open door over here with me.
Bro, I
Right.
appreciate that.
But don't bring vibes with you, though. Don't bring vibes with you now.
I,
Please don't bring that Mexican African
Bob
over.
just follows, bro. He always he
I'm
know when
messing
I'm on
with
the
you.
bullshit. He ain't gonna bring the bullshit with him.
Ah, then you got AA tether up in here. Lord have mercy. Anyway, man, much love to y'all, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro.
Much love, man. Respect. I'm gonna step down now,
Okay,
but
bet.
I'll be on your. I'll get you on YouTube. I got you,
I got
Chief Nut.
appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Let me
Yes, sir.
let me show y'all the before I end the live real quick because I do got to prepare for that round table. It is a
See, they scream like roaches when Tether up in
hey
here, man.
man, hey, come on, man. What's up with you? What's up with you with this? Why you doing that, man? Y'all gotta let me know the more y'all FBA little drama y'all be having going on. I need to know. I need to know more of that. Like, cause I become sometimes when I come to y'all stuff, I be lost as hell. I don't know who's beefing. I don't know who said what. I'm just there, and I just be chilling. I'm like, damn, man. Oh, my voice low. It's because I'm kind of far from the mic. But yeah,
Well, what time did you start this live, Chief?
I started this like 7 o'clock. Man, I seen a clip of Earth Speaks battling consciously. I said, man, I gotta recap that. I had to cap that shit.
Well, you got to counter that.
That shit was crazy. But this the photo. I'm still working on this photo. This is called "Who Conquered Us." It got a bunch of old books. Christopher Columbus, his true bloodline. He's not even a fucking cologne. He was a poor man. It's a bunch of shit. What's the other folder? Indian Wars. Damn, it didn't get. Oh
This is
damn.
what you're gonna present later on tonight, yeah?
I'm gonna be presenting. Is it Indian Wars I'm presenting? Damn, it didn't even put the shit in there. I'm glad I caught this shit. Spanish history. Is it Spanish history? No. I got a man. I don't know what the fuck, bro. When you trying to bring shit from your MacBook to your desktop, don't trust that shit. It's not gonna put it on there. It's gonna put the folder in there, and it ain't gonna be nothing in there. So now I gotta do
this is
everything manually.
this reminds me of the last time I was up here. You were going through the archives, having some trouble.
Man, this shit dumb. But yeah, I'm going over
So here,
Indian history
mm-hmm.
tonight and partly Indian Wars if I can make it to it. I'm not trying to have it extremely long.
I remember we kind of covered this last time with the whole. Remember, I was like, so that saying that Christopher Columbus was searching for India, and that's why America was called India. And then you showed me that ancient ass map
Yeah,
with Indy or something on it.
yeah.
From the Chinese, or I can't remember who you showed it.
It was called for China. It was called Kathy. Sometimes it's end with a Y. Sometimes it's ended with a IE at the end. Yeah, here it is.
Right,
Indian
right.
history. This is what we're going over. This is the first presentation tonight of Indian history, mainly dealing with the Narragasses, I believe. No, Taino. No, the Indian Wars is going to be dealing with the Narragasses and King Philip, Metacone, and Nimrod. I'm surprised an Indian person called himself Nimrod. Made me kind of think where that name originally came from. I'm still investigating that. But yeah, we dealing with Hispaniola, Jamaica. Yeah, Hispaniola and Jamaica tonight. What really happened on those islands? I'm gonna be showing 3 different versions of their perspective of what happened in their islands. So I'm gonna be showing inconsistencies in the story and all that shit. To show you that we can't believe what these colonizers is saying when it comes down to colonizing America, because they can't even keep their damn story straight. So that's what I'm gonna be presenting tonight when it comes down to the Indian Roundtable. And my other brother that's presenting is Amaru Dallas. He presented his work too tonight. I think it's dealing with the Jews, the Moors. how they partake in colonizing the Caribs and North America as well. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be covering tonight. We're not gonna be talking about who's black and who's white. People should already know this shit by now. So what we teach is more of an advanced course, dealing with who we are and what happened in colonial time. So if people looking to see for us to say who's black, who's not, then tonight ain't gonna be the line for you. It's gonna be more sophisticated than that. But yeah, that's what we're going over tonight.
Sounds good. Sounds good, Chief. I just wanted to say something before you leave.
Yeah,
Um, just kind of give you over brief
you skipping bad, bro.
Africans, or in your case, the narrative of that,
You
right?
gotta you gotta you gotta start
That
over
that's
saying
on
what you
the
said because
that's
you
on.
had cut off. I don't understand what
Oh,
you said.
okay, sorry.
There you go.
Oh, I just wanted to. Okay, let me start here. Can you hear me now? I hear my echo.
Yeah, hold up. You go ahead.
Okay. Oh, so I was saying. Okay, let me start here. So no one's invalidating your identity, right? Just like the same way you just had said earlier, like you can't call me African, or you can be African, but don't expect us all to be Africans, right? So it works vice versa. We doing the same. Like, don't be saying we all American Indians, right? When we know we Africans, right? So there's a contention, right? So then back to the FBA beef, right, Chief? So the FBA beef is kind of like they say they don't have a leader, they say they're not a movement, but they have an official website where it talks about the what it is to be an FBA, what it means, right? What the definition of lineage is and all that. So on there, they say that they are from African descent, ancestry, right? This is what they put out, right? So our biggest contention is if you're gonna go through that narrative, right? That if you call yourself an FBA, because we have a lot of FBAs that are American Indians too, and bang FBA, you know. So our biggest contention is it's a contradiction if that's the case, right? And I think what it's tied to is the whole reparations, right? So and so I do think that that's where it kind of splinters with the two identities, and then we just call it out as it is, you know. And I think it's for educational purposes to inform them. Like if you call yourself FBA, you're subscribing to something that you say never happened, which be the Atlantic slave trade. So that's kind of like the synopsis, Chief, if you of the contention.
Well, my thought process on that, it comes down to individualism. If you believe you come from Africa and you FBA, the only thing I say just provide the documentation, the slave manifest, the slave payroll, the just the documents. That's all I say. But if you're trying to graft everybody into being an African, then that's where we gotta have a sit down and talk and actually bring out information to see if that's true or not. I know there's a split in the FBA when it comes down to one side saying they're indigenous and the other side saying they're African, uh, African by slave descent. Like I said, the only thing I could tell you is the just to prove that you're African. That's all I'm saying. Now, as the indigenous side, there's two ways. There's two issues with it. The people that's saying they're indigenous based off a role. I always say this. That means you're saying you're part Siberian. You're basically saying the Siberian is the Indian blood, and I'm against that. So if you haven't got past that yet, then clearly you don't know what you're talking about yet. Now, the other one is we know who we are based off genetics and anthropological work. We know our bloodline was here. We know it was millions and millions of black people that were here that lost their culture, that lost their language, that lost their names. And when it comes down to the gold rush and we lost our land, we're all bunched together and had to live with one another. So therefore, that's why I say those people are either autochthonous or primordial. You don't need to call yourself by a tribal name. You don't need a language. The only thing you need to know who you are is you only need to go by your oral history. That's really it. The United States government know that black people were here pre-Columbian time. They know it. Scientists know it. Everybody knows. The whole world knows it. But this is one of the biggest kept secrets that people don't love to talk. They don't want to talk about because corporations have too much influence in the government body. Too much influence. Oh, here we go. We got a Siberian nigga getting on the panel. Here go the Siberian nigga.
Go ahead and pull that up for me real quick.
Pull what up?
You see it right there in the comments.
Let's see.
Gonna pull it up.
Okay. Are you gonna explain it?
I'm gonna let you just read it. I think you got
No,
discernment,
it's
don't
your
you?
claim. It's what you want to read. You brought it up.
It's not my claim. That's the government, dog.
Okay, so you're gonna read it. So I'm gonna put it on the screen since you're unable to do that. Unable to do that. We're gonna hurry up and deal with you real quick and get you out.
Type that in, big dog.
Get you out the way. So
I never
this part,
could figure out what you're talking about. Kiowa? What is that? Kiowa? You should look that up. Make a new tab. Look up what the god Kiowa. What is that? Choctaw god Kiowa. So what does that say? You got a bunch of shit in the way.
okay,
I
so
can't
which one
see
you
it.
want me to
Go
read?
ahead and
You want
read
me
it.
to read 1-8? Which one you want to read?
What does it say? What's an American Indian?
It says American Indian.
By legal definition. What?
This wait, did I put in the right one? 29 U.S. Code. Okay, now you said look for American Indian.
Yeah, search it. Control F. Let's see what American Indian is by legal definition. Let's see.
What's the Indian? The terms India, American Indian, Indian American mean an individual who is a member of an Indian tribe, includes a native and descendant
Ooh.
of a native. As such terms are defined
Ooh.
in
I'ma holler at
subsections.
you.
Okay, the Alaskan.
I'ma holler at
Oh my God, what is this supposed to prove? What is this supposed to prove here? So he said, "I'm gonna holler at you," like that proves something. Okay, so what you were saying about he left because
Oh,
I offered to get his ass whooping.
what was the what's the biggest contention within the American Indians? What were you saying?
Oh, basically it's corporate Indians versus ancient Indians. That's really all it really is. It's two different people.
And some
And
think that the paperwork is going to validate
yeah,
that,
which is
right?
corporate Indians.
Okay.
Corporate Indians go by bloodline, and when I say bloodline, I'm talking paperwork, blood quantum.
Yeah, blood
And
quantum.
who the
Yeah,
one
yeah,
that
yeah.
said who's the Indian by blood and what is Indian blood? The white man said that shit.
Right, right.
So
And he's on top of it
yeah,
too.
and if you read the Racial Integrity Act, he said his blood is Indian blood. Literally. You will be counted as a
Right.
full
Okay.
Indian if you're mixed with white. If you go read Walter Plecker's
So,
Racial Integrity
so
Act.
what are some key phrases or key words that these corporate Indians be using to validate their claim
Well, the
to
brother,
to
what he best made me pull up, that's it right there. Let me see if I can go back and click the history.
or no, like some words or phrases that they be using that I can kind of be like, okay, this and this is a corporate nigga, you know.
Member. When they use the word member.
Okay,
Tribal.
okay.
When they use the
Got
word tribal.
okay.
Like
He only that dude basically or whatever he's biracial. He has a whole white tea mom. Don't know what his daddy is, so I guess somebody like his grandma, somebody probably be Siberian, the Siberian Native Americans. That's the only reason why he can claim a card. So I'm thinking the Indian in him comes from his white tea side. So the fact that he tried to get up here and flex, you need to do better. You got a whole white tea mama. We is not the same. We is not the same people.
exactly.
You ain't even
But
us.
he told me to read this right. Watch this, baby. Watch this. Remember I was just saying corporate Indian vibes. If you look at subsection B right here, I know the chat is in the way. I got to keep that chat up there because I'm recording for YouTube. It's just Indian tribe. The term Indian tribe means any federal or state tribe, state Indian tribe. There's corporations. That's estates right there. Rentria, Pueblo, colony, or community, including Alaskan Native village or regional village corporation. Corporation. What did I just say? As defined in the established.
Yeah, anything founded.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Or established in person
Oh,
in hold on, let me finish this out. To the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act in a tribal organization. I don't know how you can't understand that. You Indians today with a tribal card and calling yourself a member, you're a corporate entity. You're not blood. It's not by blood. It's not by real pure blood. You're a fictitious entity. So when you say I'm Cherokee and I got my membership card, you're a fake ass Cherokee. You're not a real Cherokee. It's actually quite the opposite. The real Indians never got themselves registered with the federal government because they knew what was going to happen. But y'all that went on and did this shit, that's why you got so many. You got over 70% of white people claiming to be Indians. Just like they made that fucking Lumbee tribe. Over 70% of the Lumbee tribe is Europeans. They're gonna keep playing with y'all. But
I was just going to add to that. Yeah, anything founded or incorporated was a colony, right? So if you're recognized by the federal or the state, that makes some sense. And I was gonna say too that or what they would say uncivilized or unrecognized by the federal government. So was Lumbee so-called black people?
Lumbee didn't even exist. It was originally Cherokee, which was really Kiowa,
I
Tuscarora.
never got the whole Lumbee thing.
Oh,
You're
my
muted.
bad.
You're muted,
Lumbee
Chief.
originally didn't even exist. Lumbee was actually a colony of white people. For one, for what was called the Roanoke. I forgot the name of it. I think that's the name. But the original people were the Tuscarora, the
Roanoke.
Roanoke. Okay, the Tuscarora, the Algonquins. Um, who else was it? The Seminoles. I think I already said Kiowa. I already said Kiowa, and some various other tribes that just got together. That's all it is. Lumbee is something brand fucking new. I ain't saying it's brand new as in 2026. It's brand new as a group of white people came together with some Indians and created their name. That's what I mean. But Lumbee is not ancient. They don't have an indigenous language. In fact, they say their indigenous language is English. When you look it up.
So, the Algonquin, is that the same thing? Because I hear that all the
The
time
Algonquin is a
to relate back
combination
to
of different
English.
tribes together.
Okay, so English is a foreign language. Would you confirm that for me?
Uh, Partly because the majority of American English language is mainly indigenous words. When you look at the English over there, it's kind of different. When you actually look at the origins of English and they say it's Germanic, and go look at the real Germanic languages, it's nothing like ours.
It's, it's more like the Queen's English.
Kind of, sort of. They call what they call the Ameri people. I forgot. Let me go look at that. Because I was just looking at it not too long ago. It was called the Ameri colony in England.
I've heard of that too. Or I've heard it
But
around.
when you
A
look,
Marian.
yeah, when you look at their language, it still doesn't look like it still doesn't sound like the American English. Yeah, me and Ron was actually looking that stuff up. It doesn't sound like the American English, but American English is vastly, I want to say vastly different, but it's really different from over there. You could tell there's a bunch of different other influences when it comes down to the American English language. It's primarily indigenous influence. primarily. Hey, Plenty, you know you up here? Yeah, I don't think you know. You come back up when you.
So when you, what, Chief, when you supposed to get the bonus? Because I heard from other states that they're not receiving their bonuses, but they con y'all.
Dude, it's confidential, man. Right?
This is what I'm
It's
hearing.
confidential, man. I'm different in my.
Oh no, no. Okay, let's just do. Okay, not yours. Let's do a general. Have you heard of this though? Have you heard of this? So I can send you a link.
I know we got a shutdown, though. I know we ain't gonna get paid.
When we get a shutdown?
They working on a shutdown now, cause they can't come down to some fucking agreement. I don't know, but we ain't gonna get paid.
They can't pay y'all out, man. That's what's. There's too much. The
Job.
budget, the ice budget,
Gotta
too
get a second
big.
job, man. Until they pay this shit.
I was
up.
looking at our Homeland Security or our ICE budget is like is financially it's bigger than some people's whole country of like the military. You feel
Man,
me?
they
Like their
launder a
budget.
lot of that money, man. They just putting that shit in there. And
It's wild.
like, they don't really give a damn.
And you're like, it don't matter to me, man, as long as I get my check. You said.
I ain't locking my people up.
Chief.
I don't give a damn. I ain't locking my people up. I'm locking up immigrants. I ain't locking up my people.
And these corporate Indians.
Yeah, the corporate Indians. No, I ain't got a Native American yet, but I would love to.
That's what the Mexicans are, though, Chief.
Matter
That's
of fact,
what
I'm
the
gonna take a
Mexicans
picture of
are.
that one native I'm gonna finally get. I'm gonna take a picture of him. I'm like, look, I'm the one that sent this guy to Canada. It was me. I'm gonna take praise. I'm gonna take praise in that shit. I'm gonna boast myself with that shit.
They're not sending no one to Canada. Do we have them private?
They've been sending Native
private
Americans
places
to Canada
there?
though. Not a lot of them, but a few have been sent to Canada.
Like Native Americans that belong from Canada originally, and they came over here. They migrated here, and you got to ship them back.
I don't know.
Kind of like
I know they
Mexico.
was in the Navajo reservation. And they sent them to Canada. I don't know how many they sent, but I never seen an article on it. And some in South, is it North Dakota or South Dakota?
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
but these tribes, they be lying and shit, and they be selling tribal cards and stuff to people. So that could be the reason as well. They got exposed and they deported their ass out. You know, that could be the reason.
Well, that kind of reminds me when people that were enslaved, they like made them enslaved so they can protect them, so they wouldn't be deported or they wouldn't be sent to back in the day.
Too far back. Nuh-uh. It's just for money. That's all it is.
Well, it reminds me when you said, oh, okay. Well, when you say like tribal membership and all that, like maybe they're doing it too just to protect their people, or I mean, so they won't get deported. You feel me?
Could be, and also
so they
could
can
be to increase their numbers too.
Yeah, there's a number of factors probably.
Yep. But make sure you take that picture off and make sure you stop going there, Brian. Know what I'm saying? And
Nah, well, you see, me and Tether cool, right? So he be coming up. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, he be coming up on Tether's page, and him and Tether have I guess a cool relationship. They know they at odds. You know, they know they're gonna have to face each other one of these days because Brian be out here saying some wild shit. You know, but we spare him on that panel. You know, we get to joke around like kind of like we do here.
hey, but
you know,
I'm just saying,
kiki ha ha.
They summoned me to go against y'all in this African belief shit. There ain't no hard feelings.
Yeah.
It ain't no hard feelings.
No worries, man. We got our archives
I'm
too.
to represent. I'm just saying.
And so it's a chess match. You know what I mean? So most definitely. So
it's a battle y'all gonna lose for sure.
I'm just saying. Oh, gee, don't.
Especially if I bring my boy Amaru, y'all most definitely losing.
Bring Amaru, Heru, bring Osiris, bring our Egyptian people, right? Our Egyptian.
Now you going crazy. No, we. Now you tripping, bro. We ain't like that.
Summon our ancestors.
We don't do that shit. We ain't on that mystery shit. That ain't us. We don't do that shit.
Either way, Chief. Either way, you got some. You got, what is it called? You got you just gotta. You got the opposing side. That's it, man. And I wish you all the best of luck. You know, Chief.
Mean, just know if we coming up there, y'all just gonna be preaching a sermon and we gonna be showing shit.
I got you. But we got information to expel a lot of the even on our side. You know what I mean? So if you got anything that will help us, and then anything I can help you with, so you can try to understand it. But again, we're not listening to the white man. I think we can at least start there. And then when we talk about DNA and genealogy, that's a whole nother conversation, right? And
Long as
we've
we
had it
got
with
that same
Miguel.
mindset when it comes down to white people calling us Africans too, when we actually have to sit down and talk about this. Because
Yeah. Like I said, no one's here to invalidate who you are. No one's here to make you an African, create you an African. Our biggest thing is you, or not you, but like people convincing everyone they're not African, right? So that's our biggest contention. But it just depends on what timelines you're talking about, Because if people are saying, like you were bringing up the monkey thing and the primate thing, then we're gonna have to see when Africa was seeded. And a lot of people want to say it happened in reverse. Everything happened in reverse, literally
it
backwards,
really
right?
did.
So
There's a such thing as the American diaspora. It really is.
right. And yeah, so just like there's a Pan American, there's a Pan African. I was gonna tell Brian.
It really is.
But the only difference is in America, you guys aren't so. I mean, same with Africa. It's not so united, right? I think those are just ideologies that people outside of the continent, or even people inside of the continent that might not be in direct wars with each other, like in direct tribal wars, can think outside the box, and can come up with some solutions that we can be united,
Okay, how
you
about
know?
when we have this discussion? How about we actually have real people that are actually real African descent, not by DNA test, not by
Right. On the feet on the ground, feet
on the
on the
feet,
ground,
only by
right?
real true paperwork, not no goddamn
Oh well,
DNA
I can
test.
I can prove my father was born in
Okay,
Ethiopia.
well,
I
all right,
can
we can
prove
use
that,
you, and you will probably need
you
somebody
know.
else.
And then
Now you might be one out of a million. That's gonna be hard. That's like finding a needle in a hay. You trying to find somebody
why do you?
else that's an African descent
Betty, you
that literally
smart.
came from Africa.
Huh.
You
This ain't
very
FBA.
smart.
Gotcha.
And I'm not talking about
Okay.
no
Oh.
immigrant FBA. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an African American that actually have real
Uh huh.
ties to Africa through slave
Gotcha.
manifest or just come here a long
I
time ago.
got you. I got more than I can count on my finger for sure. For sure. I
Okay,
got you.
we can set that up. I'll talk to Brian.
No needle in the
I'll
haystack.
talk to Brian. I'll talk to Leo. I see, and whoever else that got on that side. I see what we all can do.
So then let me. So what are we gonna need from y'all? Is my question, and I might have to think about this one. Okay, Chief. I'll come back
I
with
can
this
help
one.
you.
What kind of documentation? But again, since you're not a corporate, then a lot of these things are oral. I'm
We could
guessing,
talk
right?
about fossil remains, anthropological work, things like that, colonial
All right.
standpoint, stuff like that.
Right.
Which we know y'all
And I
have
got
the
my
same
folks for
thing for
that.
Africans too. But I'll say
Yeah,
let's
but
make it a little bit more spicy when it comes down to that.
okay, fair enough.
1492 through through the 1700s. We can only use sources from 1492 through 1700.
1700s. Okay. All right. Okay. You got the timeline.
Let's use that. I'm talking about the source actually gotta be from there, not some shit typed on Yale University. It gotta be a whole ass book from that time, or something, a document,
All right.
something.
I'll draft like a debate template. All right. And then you can add to it.
Okay, cool. We could do that. Make sure you get real Africans now, real African descendants that can prove themselves that they are really African descent, not by DNA test, not by DNA test.
On paper, like a birth certificate. Like mine.
Birth certificate, or it could be a slave manifest. It could be a slave payroll or anything like that that could justify them actually coming from Africa. The document actually got to show something that they came from Africa, or something. Or they could come from the Caribs to America. They could be that too. We could be that too, because I know they'd be
Oh,
extremely.
you just added a whole nother
I'm
layer,
just saying
man. You
I
done
know, because
brought
I
the.
know it could be extremely difficult for that. But you would have to show that person came from Africa to the Caribbeans, then from the Caribbeans to America. That's the
We're
connection you would
not.
have to do.
See, I'm not an FBA though. I don't. I beef with FBAs, you know, so it's probably not going to be no FBA, but it's going to be an African American for sure.
Black first. This is not a Pan African
I
debate.
hear
Hold on,
you.
wait.
I hear you.
I
A black. It's going to be a black
no. I was talking
American
about
that
the
still
guy
has
in the
ties.
comments. This is not an old
Oh, my
school
bad.
Jesse Jackson Pan African debate. I'm just letting you know, so you might as well get your ass on. This is new.
Rest in peace to Messa Jackson.
This is new generation. Black first. Take your old ass on somewhere. Your generation done and tired. We're going somewhere. Y'all done. We with the new shit now. Y'all been defeated a long time ago. Y'all lost with Marcus Garvey. Just stop. Will DeBose, you lost.
Shots fired.
African Association, you lost. So stop it. Y'all been exposed a long time ago. The Pan African movement. Hey, you heard that Dr. Umar Johnson opened his school?
Shout out to my Africans. No, I did not.
I gotta look at that. I seen somebody drop a 15-minute video. They say
he's not our leader, right? Just like Tariq Nasheed ain't y'all FBA leader. Shout out to Dr. Umar, man. I'm happy he got it finally up and running, man. A lot of people had their doubts.
How much he charging for tuition? $20,000. What? You know, he claimed to be a descendant of fucking what's his name? What he say? He always say Frederick Douglass. He said he's a descendant of Frederick Douglass, even though Frederick Douglass had Indian ties. But he said Frederick Douglass came from Africa. But we already did Frederick Douglass genealogy. We don't have no paperwork, no documentation that prove that Frederick Douglass genealogy, his people, his lineage come from Africa. But they just say he do. So I guess we just gotta.
Someone said to him, he's like, well, Frederick Douglass married a white woman. He's like, well, no, hold on. He was like his first wife, you know, he had kids with. Well, she was black. You feel me? She was African.
Abolitionists and activists. Y'all gonna get enough fucking with these abolitionists and activists, bro.
It was so funny, that interview. I'll send it to you.
What was the FBI? What was the FBI before the FBI? The abolitionists. That's what I look at it as, because all them motherfuckers, they all them suspect to me.
Infiltration.
One day, yeah, we all need to talk about the abolitionists. Like, we always talk about FBI informants, CIA informants, but what was the informants before they was created? We need to tap into that. We need to tap into that shit too. But let's go ahead and end this shit. We'll talk about it. Vibes. Shit was hopefully it don't.
All right, man. I'll make that template, bro. You stay easy now.
All right, bro.
I hope my Mexicans outpace your ass. Let's see how fit and conditioning you are, bro.
Well, if you bring a Mexican,
because these white boys be
too.
falling all over the goddamn place.
If you bring a Mexican to the party, he gotta be part black too. I'm not gonna listen to a full blood ass Mexican.
No, I'm talking about it on the field, bro. Like, you better. I was talking about. They out conditioned you, bro.
I just seen them protesting the other day, man. I was like, man, y'all.
But you know what I believe, Chief. I don't even think you out in the field. You out in administration. I think you out there typing, taking in documents or something, man. That's why I really.
I'm just an investigator.
We'll talk.
I'm just an investigator, bro.
Stop
I'm just an
it.
investigator. That's it, man. That's it, man. I just investigate shit.
All right, man. You stay blessed, brother. I'll catch you later on today.
All right, bro. Thank you for coming up.
Peace. Yep.
All right, so y'all heard it. Me, the FBA, we all gonna have a discussion about this African thing. Hopefully it goes by well. Hopefully nobody don't get disrespected. We're gonna show sources and stuff. But like I said,
Betty,
hopefully we can get this situated. I want to talk to Leo O'Brien about it. Let's see if we can get this out the way. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be a wonderful discussion between, the FBAs and the differences that they have. You know what I'm saying? I think we should talk about that, because we got one side saying they're indigenous, we got one side saying they come from Africa, and yet we don't be seeing sources brought out. So hopefully me and Amaru can come out and settle the score on that, and make a difference here. And maybe we can stop graphing everybody into this African category and just stick to individualism. If you're African by individualism, then no, it's no pushback. That's you and your family. But the moment you say everybody is African because we got coarse hair and we're brown or black, then that's the issue. Then now we got to take out the big guns. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. And it's no disrespect. It's just a lack of understanding. That's all it is. It's just a lack of understanding. And the people woke. The people is woke. The people understand, especially after that Jesse Jackson incident. I seen that the people is woke. Oh, they understand. We just need to edify ourselves a little bit more, and we would be great. So y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and end this live. Thank y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? We rocked out. We seen the whole presentation between Conscious Lee and Earth Speaks. We seen the falsehood that proceeded out of both of their mouths. So hey, it's what it is. If you want to catch the recap of this whole entire live, go ahead and subscribe to Chief Natural on YouTube. And if you ain't bought the book yet, click the link in the bio of my account. It will take you straight to the website where you could buy the hard copy or the soft copy of Negroids in America. Again, click the link in my bio if you want to purchase the book. It will be published within 2 weeks. I got a new publisher, and it will be mailed out in at least 8 days after the book has been created. So go ahead and get your copy of Negroids in America to see all the evidence of us being indigenous to this land from a pre-Columbian standpoint and a post-Columbian standpoint, from a scientific point of view, from an archaeological point of view, and an anthropological point of view, and document point of view, and colonial point of view. So make sure you get your Negroids in America if you want to check out all the evidence. The book got over 600 pages. All right. So let's go ahead and end this live. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Oh yeah, and yeah, we're gonna have the Indian Roundtable at 7 o'clock as well. So tune in to that too.